Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we want to talk about some things that Dwayne Wade just recently said. Uh, I think Kyrie Irving as well. So we're gonna have some sound bites from Dwayne Wade and Kyrie based on some things they said. Pretty much kind of defending Kobe, defending his name. There's a lot of it's a lot. I don't even want to call it slander, but it's just been a lot of negative talk around Kobe's name for the last couple of weeks. And one thing I like about content creating and the whole NBA and the sports community and stuff like that is things get trending and I guess hot topics and stuff like that, and you're able to piggyback off of it. Something unique happen or something spontaneous happen in the sports world, whether it be a trade or something like that, or something somebody said that was controversial. A lot of people are able to kind of react to it, and it takes a while before it dies down because everybody's opinion is a little bit different, and how everybody's going to approach it and their perspective is a little bit different. So you get a 2 or 3 days or sometimes a week worth of material of people reacting to this new thing. And for the last couple of weeks, for some reason, I think starting with LeBron's talk about ring culture, and how rings shouldn't really matter all that much to a player's greatness. I think that started everything on his Game to Mind podcast, and then it went to Gilbert Arenas doing his part in it and bringing in Tracy McGrady to also bring Kobe Bryant's name in it to say, oh man, T-Mac could do the same thing Kobe did if he had Shaq. He could have three-peated, right? And then that just started a whole thing. And then once it caught on like a wildfire. And now all the content creators, and I'm not talking about like content creators like myself, there's small channels and stuff like that. I'm talking about former athletes, Jeff T, Dwayne Wade, Shaq. They all got their turn. Gilbert Arenas again, he doubled back and tripled back and quadrupled back. And I think every it's like a reflash watch when you're trying to put a fire out. Every time someone else says something, Gilbert Arenas comes right back and responds to that. But he's just going to keep getting material on it. We're at a slow period for NBA because it's the off season. Trades already went down, draft already went down, summer league is going on. Nobody's talking about Britne. It's a slow period, and these dudes are desperate to keep, the views and the clicks coming in for their podcast. These dudes got huge contracts with Underdog and Prize Picks and all this stuff, and it's just not a good look for them to be paying all that money for their podcast to be doing numbers, and they can't do numbers. So they gotta have some juicy stuff. So just keep that in mind, man. This stuff is like, some of this stuff is just it's just not real. Like I really don't believe most of these people believe what they're really saying. Right. I think they just know the content creation game, man. So, but anyway, nonetheless, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about what Wade said, because the Kobe stuff just went too far. Like I listen, I would be all for it if you pick the player, or former player, current player, or whatever the case may be, if you pick someone that was alive. Like there's other names out there you could have used, right? And instead of T-Mac saying, "Oh man, if I had Shaq, I could have done what Kobe did." Instead of picking Kobe to make your point, a man that's no longer here and can't defend himself. Why couldn't you just say, "Man, if I had the Heat big three, if you replace me with LeBron, you don't think I get those 2 rings?" Why not say that? Or why not say, "Oh, if you replace me with KD on the Warriors, you don't think I get those rings?" Like you could have picked several superstar players to replace. Why did it have to be Kobe? I just think it's very interesting that it had to be Kobe. Why bring that name in? Why Gilbert has to bring that name in so much? Why was his name the name that was used? So we'll get into it. Which one is it, Wade? Which one is Raj? I don't know what you're saying. Which one is it, Wade? Yeah, it's Wade. Yeah, you're gonna hear from Wade in a second. Yeah, Mr. Y said, "Why can't we just leave Bron alone?" I don't know. If Bron leave the NBA alone, then maybe the NBA content will stop. I don't mind the chatter. It shows that Kobe is a measuring stick. That alone shows his greatness. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, so we got some people in here. I don't see moderators in here for tonight. So let me know if y'all in here. If you're a moderator, let me know who in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the share button as well. I'm gonna open the phone lines up for this show a little bit later on. So be prepared for that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hear what D-Wade had to say.
You know, as fans, we love.
Oh rankings. My God, these player rankings.
We love rankings, but now you see like this most recent one where they got Kobe outside of the top 10, and I know
who did what.
They got Kobe outside of the top 10, 100 players.
Who is they, Bob?
Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report.
Clickbait. Clickbait.
It's clickbait because Kobe not in the top 10.
Clickbait.
I've always looked at them rankings and shit where I can't even talk on somebody I've never seen play. So how can I rank somebody in an order? And I've never seen a lot of these guys hoop. So, you know, it can never be fair, in my opinion. So the player rankings, like Chris said, that's just clickbait, just to get people in the comments talking and upset with each other and get the views up, man. That's all it's about.
Man, that's it.
That's all it's about. I don't take it too serious.
And so they had me ranked the 23rd, and I told them, I said, man, I don't care about that stuff. I said, it literally means nothing. I said, listen, I've gotten everything out of this game. I'm still eating out of this game. And I said, and that's just someone's opinion that's never played a game at our level. So you can't put nothing on it. Like, I saw so many think pieces, so many people really like up in arms about, and it was really about Cole being on the outside of the top 10. And I'm just like, yeah, if you want to ask us hoopers who played against Cole, we talking, all of us gonna talk top 3.
Facts.
Like, we all gonna talk 3 if you played against Mamba. But from someone's opinion that's never played against Kobe, has never played a game of basketball at the level that we played at, having them at 11, okay. Why am I up in arms about something like that? I remember when Kobe was alive, they had rankings when he played in the league and they had him low. I remember one year and Kobe addressed it. Like, who is these idiots? Like, why would I listen to these idiots? And I'm not calling a person who did this an idiot, but what I'm saying is when someone does something like that, Kobe was like, this is idiotic to me. I remember that when he was alive in the NBA, still going, they ranked him lower than he probably should have been. So as players, we know who are some bad boys, but also like D. Rice said, it's hard when you're trying to rank all the players that's ever played the game of basketball and you've never seen them play. So you're going off of what statistics that's on a paper.
Yeah.
And that's hard to rank somebody like that. So, like, what are the rankings? Like, how do you come up with these rankings? How do you throw names in a hat and pick them out? Or do you just go by statistics? Because it's a lot of people statistically going to look better than someone ahead of them or someone lower than them going to have better. You can't do it. It's not championships. Like, It has no rhyme or reason necessarily. It's who's someone's favorite player and their style of play, so forth and so on. And that's why they decided to do it. So for me, I always tell people, I'm a kid who grew up watching this game. I'm a kid who grew up in the inner city. I grew up playing on a crate. That's how I learned how to play basketball, on a crate. If you're telling me that my name is going to be mentioned in any rankings of anyone's of the greatest that ever played a game of basketball, I'm cool with that. I don't care where you put me because really it doesn't matter. I'm cooked. My career is cooked already. It do not matter where you can put me at 23 or 20. It don't matter. It's over.
Can't go back like Mr. 3000, like Bernie.
Had nothing, D, right? Can't go back.
I'm cooked. Hey,
I'm cooked already. Mike, I can't go back and be like, hold up, wait 1 minute, hold my beer. No, it's over with. So it's all good. It doesn't change.
I got some breaking news.
Okay, so he said a lot in there. But the part that I really want to kind of hone in on is when he said, when you actually talk to players, when you talk to people that played against Kobe Bryant, they at least played in the league. They talking about Kobe in the top 3, which is exactly where I have him. I have him number 3. I got Mike and I got Kareem. Right. It's kind of hard for it just depends on how you really looking at it, and I think for most people who don't have Kobe very, very, very high, I think the reason is they're entering I guess that angle that they're coming from is what's on paper, right? What's on paper? How many rings, how many points scored, how many MVPs. They're just looking at it on paper, stats. You know what I mean? And and he get taxed for some reason for playing with Shaq, and then they talk about his field goal percentage being 44%, and that's pretty much it. Like the negatives on Kobe Bryant is he shot the ball at 44% for a career. He didn't play his first couple of years. He played behind Eddie Jones his first couple of years. Like that's some type of knock. I guess. I mean. And then the MVPs. But the thing about that is you're ignoring the reasons why. Like the reasons to them don't even matter. Like the reason why he shot 44% is because he was a jump shooter. Like he shot a lot of jump shots, and he's always pulling your best defender on him, and that best defender has to defend for his life. Like that's your only purpose of being on the floor. Like when they put Tony Allen on him, you was not expecting Tony Allen to give you no points. Your sole purpose is Kobe. When they put Bruce Bowen on him, Shane Battier, Roger Bell, when they put these guys on him, their sole purpose was Kobe Bryant. Make him work. Make it hell. Always contest a shot. Hand in his face. Chase him around screens when he don't got the ball. Get physical, get rough. Like all of those things, that was their goal. That was what they was doing for that night or that series. Right? Tayshaun Prince. Like the best defenders have to be assigned to Kobe Bryant. And then they're sending doubles as well, especially when he was playing, when he was the number 1 with Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom. Right? So shooting 44% for a jump shooter who's never getting open shots. Like he's never getting them open. No one's backing off of him and giving him threes or giving him jump shots. No one's daring him to take a mid-range jump shot. Like it's up and close and personal, right? I know what type of cologne he got on. That's how they're guarding him. So to shoot it at 44%, when you look at the other shooters, the jump shooters like Ray Allen and guys of that nature, they shot it around 44%. Allen Iverson, like these are jump shooters. Like these are guys who are taking 25 shots a game, and out of the 25 of them, 18 of them might be jump shots. Right? So to shoot that at 44% is not even bad. So the reason why he shoot it at 44% is not even important to stat nerds. They just look at it and was like, oh, 44%. Well, that's not good. That's not efficient. Well, the difference between 44% and 50% is really one shot. Like seriously, if I take 10 shots and make 5, that's 50%. If I take 10 shots and shoot 44%, I made 4, but that's really 44%. So I really made 4.4 shots. But you can't make a half a shot or 0.4 of a shot. So, I guess you're running down. So I made 4 shots out of 10. You made 5 shots out of 10. And you're seriously going to look someone in the eye and say, well, I got this player that shoots 50% over Kobe because he shot it at 44%. And the difference between 44% and 50%, if we're talking about 10 shots, is 1 missed shot. One. 40% out of 10 is 4 shots you made. You missed 6. 50% out of 10 is 5 shots you missed. 5 shots you made and you missed 5. That's the difference, right? So the reasons why he shot 44% is not important. They just say that we got to tax him for that. Then a good point that Tiffany just made in the comment section not too long ago is is then you want to tax him for playing with Shaq. When you don't tax Curry for playing with KD, and you don't tax Magic or Kareem for playing with each other. Neither one of them would get taxed. Somehow on that Bleacher Report list, Kareem and Magic was both in the top 10. And I think they both might have been very close to top 5 or top 6. So you got both of them in the top 5 or top 6. You didn't tax either of them. Then you put Curry in the top 10. Right? So you don't care that he played with Shaq and then asked to be removed away from Shaq so he can prove to you that he can be a number one and lead a team, right? They didn't care about that. Just, oh man, you played with Shaq, so yeah, we got to tax you for that. And then what's the other things I'm thinking about? So that's, you played with Shaq, shot 44%. And freaking playing behind Eddie Jones his first couple of seasons. Forget that Dale Harris just didn't want to play him. The dumbest thing I always hear, and I think Gilly the Kid was on Shannon Sharp's podcast just recently, and he was talking about and we'll get to it. He was talking about that, man. But it's just very interesting that narrative of playing behind Eddie Jones is such a bad narrative, and they use it to say player A is better than player B because player A would have never played behind this player. He would have never came. Well, first and foremost, if LeBron would have came in the league before Kobe, now think of it this way: high schoolers coming into the league, they didn't get their chances like that. Like, think about the high schoolers that came in before LeBron James, right? Of course, if you go way back, you got Daryl Dawkins and Sean Kemp, right? I you know what? I really haven't went back and studied to see what their first season was like, right? So I leave that alone, right? I'm not that knowledgeable on their first season, but I remember Garnett's first season. It wasn't that phenomenal, right? His minutes was up and down. You know, I think they had Tom Gugliotta and they had a big man named Garrett, and they probably had one more. Like Garnett was, you know, he was getting his minutes, but it wasn't all cookies and cream for him. Same thing with Jonathan Bender. Jonathan Bender barely get off the bench, and then he started having his injury issues. And Jonathan Bender he could go. Same thing for Al Harrington. Same thing for Steven Jackson. Same thing for T-Mac in Toronto. Like, these high schoolers that was coming out, they just wasn't. Jermaine O'Neal. It took Jermaine O'Neal had to sit on the bench in Portland for like 4 seasons before he went to Indiana and got a chance. Like, so that was the natural progression for high schoolers. Just being a rookie in general is hard for you to come into a tough league like that in the 90s and just get into the starting lineup of a vet. So more or less a 17-year-old high schooler, right? So and it's depending on the franchise that you're playing for. If it's a contender, right? You know, because most of these guys are getting drafted, especially if it's a lottery team, you're probably not going to if it's a bad team, you're probably going to get thrown out there to trial and error and just figure it out. But if it's a team like the Lakers, who is the winningest organization in the NBA, they just got Shaq. I mean, they're expected to be a playoff team. They got Eddie Jones, who was an all-star. They got Van Exel, who's a lottery pick and a fringe all-star. I mean, you got pieces there. Derek Harris was a decent coach at that time, right? So you got, and it's the Lakers. Jerry West is your GM, right? So that's a different situation. And they always try to talk about, well, the fact that Kobe didn't play means that he wasn't as good as someone else. And I just want you to think about their draft. I just want you to think about the people that got drafted in that draft. Allen Iverson was number 1. Allen Iverson played in the Big East for Georgetown. Ray Allen played in the Big East for UConn. Ray Allen and Allen Iverson had some battles. That was one of the 2 most talented guards coming out. Kerry Kittles was a very talented guard coming out in their draft. And I'm just mentioning the guards because, of course, there was, Steve Nash was in that draft. Sharif Abdul-Rahim was in that draft. Jermaine O'Neal might have been in that draft. I'm not sure, but the draft was stacked. But I just want you to think about the guards: Iverson, Kerry Kittles, Ray Allen. Historically, we know for a fact none of those guys, as good as Ray Allen and Allen Iverson were, they weren't they were not Kobe. Right? And even in that draft, even with Iverson playing, what did he play? 2 years at Georgetown? I think he came out as a sophomore, and Ray Allen may have played 3 years at UConn, so he might have been a junior, if I'm not mistaken. So even with them with 2 or 3 years of college coming out, Kobe still was a better player at that time and a better prospect. People were just scared to pick him. He was a high schooler. They didn't know much about him. He played most of his basketball overseas. He played I think he probably played all 4 years, maybe just the 3 years in high school in Philly. But still, Tim Thomas was the guy everybody was talking about in Philly. So he was kind of under the radar, but very good. If you let Jerry West talk about how good he was, right? We seen it. We seen him in Summer League. We heard J.R. Ryder talking about him. We heard Ron Harper talking about him. We heard Brian Shaw talking about him. We heard Jerry West talking about it. The dude was very advanced at 17. Michael Cooper talking about coming to a workout and getting whooped by Kobe Bryant. And that's when he knew it was time for him to retire. Right? So the dude was good. So you got to ask yourself, why wasn't he on the floor? Why was Kerry Kittles just come straight to New Jersey and start? Why did Allen Iverson go straight to Philly and start? Why did Ray Allen go straight to Milwaukee and start? But Kobe, who was a better player, went straight to LA and went to the bench. Does that mean that Kerry Kittles, Ray Allen, and Allen Iverson was better than Kobe? No, it doesn't mean that. So why would it mean that now that we're talking about LeBron versus Kobe, why would you use their rookie seasons to separate them and say, oh man, he played behind Eddie Jones? That means that he's not as good as LeBron because LeBron came in and started. And LeBron would have never went to LA and played behind Eddie Jones. Well, if LeBron was the first high schooler to come in, like we didn't have high school other than Sean Kemp and Darryl Dawkins. They did good. But after that, we didn't have a lot of high schoolers coming in and just crush it. Right? So to see what Kobe and Garnett and eventually T-Mac turned into made it possible for LeBron to come in and for someone to have confidence, for the league or his franchise or his coach to have confidence in him that he can come in and be a cornerstone of a franchise that early. Right? Because hindsight being 2020, you realize the Lakers wasted 2 years of Kobe Bryant because of Dale Harris. They could have had him on the floor and he could have been starting early. But they didn't want to do that because they was already contending. There was already a playoff team. They already had an all-star guard right there. Why would you move? Like, come on, you can't move him to the bench for a 17-year-old. You just can't do it. Not while you trying to win. Now, if it's the Cavs and you only won 13 games the year before, then yeah, just throw the rookie out there and see. Let's just figure out. Let's see how good he is. Let's see what he can do because we got to figure out how we go build a team around him. Right, but that's not the situation Kobe Bryant was in. But yeah, D Wade is right. Top 3 is what most players got him, and most fans with common sense. I mean, I wouldn't accept anything below top 5 for Kobe. But for me personally, it's top 3. It's top 3. Let me get in these comment section though. Imagine how many rings Kobe and AD would have. Yeah. But yeah, it's so many people that's kind of sick and tired of how they playing with Kobe name, and his mentee Kyrie Irving is one of them. And Kyrie Irving is now doing his Twitch streams, and I think he's streaming every night. So if you follow Kyrie on Twitch, you're probably getting a lot of good information from him, man. He talked about the Brooklyn situation and all types of things, man. So I caught wind of some of the things he was saying about Kobe, and I thought it was interesting to bring to the forefront so y'all can hear about it. What's up, Posh King? Yeah, we live. And kind of bring up what he was saying. And I like what he was saying. You know, he went into depth a little bit. So we'll play what Kyrie said about his mentor Kobe.
I'm not letting people revise history. I'm not letting people come on and talk about Kobe like Kobe wasn't one of the best that not only played, but that came in as a 17-year-old against grown men. And by the time this man was 22 years old, he had a few championships and he was busting the best of the best ass. If y'all don't knock that shit off, I'm talking to y'all at home, the fucking media talking heads, the ones that casually throw names around like, bro, if you don't knock it off, you weren't like that. It's okay. Not everybody could be Kobe. Not everybody could wear those size, you know what I mean, size shoes that he had. Yeah, I'm not going down into detail about this because what's said on the internet and the digital space is said. It's the internet. But when it comes to real respect and real recognizing real, this man, Kobe Bean Bryant, is immortalized not just because of his basketball. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like this man, he is way bigger because of the character, because of what we witnessed him go through. We didn't care we didn't care about certain failures. The real Kobe fans didn't care about the failures. They didn't care about the naysayers. The real Kobe fans, the real Mamba fans that I'm talking to didn't care about who he was competing with. We know who fucked with Kobe and who didn't. I know who fucked with Kobe and who didn't. I'm not going to say I knew Kobe the best at all. I won't say that. You know, I'm not going to disrespect all his relationships. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is put respect. Put respect where it's due, y'all. We know who Kobe fucked with. That's the thing. We not letting people revise history. At the end of the day, when I look at the way that people are treated when they're no longer here, right? That bothers me. He's not able to sit in front of us and give us the takes or give us the, you know, how he feels about his own takes. But bro, can we just be honest at this point? The man put on the shoes and became 2.0 of one of the greatest of all time play. He obviously is Kobe Bean Bryant, but the man studied the greatest of all time. And this has nothing to do with rankings. This has everything to do with just the culture recognizing, like, right? Before there was a Kobe, there was a Mike. Before there was a Mike, there was a Julius Irving. You guys got to really just put it in perspective for how I am saying these things, y'all. This has nothing to do with comparing anybody, right? Now I'll give you my 2 cents. Y'all are arguing over who's the GOAT. I don't fucking care. I don't care who the GOAT is. I don't care because basketball is bigger than the GOAT. And even the GOATs of basketball will tell you that. Basketball is bigger than the GOATs. Basketball is bigger than these media fan votes, these media voted awards. This man, Kobe, had 1 MVP. Why do you think that is? It maybe because we're missing out the context that there was a span of time where nobody really fucked with him, or people were looking at him different, or his peers were teaching him different that y'all don't really know about. Right? I don't give a fuck who the GOAT is, but y'all not about to just sit here and just disrespect basketball. People just be saying the wildest takes. Who's the best at this? Who's the best at that? Y'all can have that. But when it comes to the basketball culture, it's bigger than the GOATs. Nobody's bigger than the game.
Man, he said, look, I'm telling you, Kyrie Irving said a lot of good truths, right? Number one, this GOAT debate that we keep trying to have, and it was all fun and games until, number one, you had to start disrespecting people's efforts, the grind that they put in, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears, the legacy they left behind. Like when you start disrespecting and look, sometimes you can say something that might be controversial and it might be your opinion and it might offend somebody. I get that. That happens sometimes. But when you're and it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay for your opinion to be your opinion, but it's not popular. But it's another thing when you're being disrespectful because you're lying. Like you're literally obviously lying. And then like you're not just freely talking and just happen to say something that you might be like, I probably could have worded that different. I think that was what kind of like got T-Mac in trouble, because he really is a friend of Kobe Bryant. So I think he was just talking, got caught up. Gilbert Arenas put a Barrett in his back, set him up, got him on first take, and he just went to talking, thinking that he making a case for himself, not knowing that he actually was helping Gil disrespect Kobe Bryant, right? So I think that may have I give him the benefit of the doubt for that, right? But some people are like planning, like plotting and planning, like, man, if I say this, I can take him down a notch here, take him down a notch here. If I say something about that guy, like some people are strategically trying to undermine, disrespect, and lie about other people's legacy that he feels like is in his way from total domination in the conversation of the GOAT. And that is LeBron James. And that is Clutch Sports. That is Rich Paul and everybody that's around them. Like they're literally purposely, systematically, strategically just throwing narratives out there and creating narratives, and it's chaotic too. There's a lot of chaos. They're creating narratives here and creating narratives here, and then lying about other players there, and then attacking other players there, and then attacking errors here, and like it's just all over the place. Like you can't even keep up with it. It's so chaotic, and they just get to sit back and laugh at this, man, because everybody's scrambling, reacting to this. Like, what the heck is going on? Like 1 minute someone says Michael Jordan can't go left. Then the next minute they're saying the whole 90s era couldn't play. It was only Jordan that was a good athlete. Jordan was the only skilled person in his era, and he was the only super athlete. So they're trying to make it seem like Jordan was the Wilt of the 90s. He's the Wilt Chamberlain of the 90s who just playing with just straight bombs. We done with the 90s. The 90s was whole track. The best defender that ever guarded Jordan in the 90s was Jeff Hornacek. That's what they say. Gilbert Arenas just straight up lied on his show one day and said, name all the shooting guards in the 90s that was guarding Jordan. And he said, man, if you look at the shooting guards that was guarding him, ain't none of them the top shooting guards. That's what he said. Right? And I'm like, wait. So you think that a team that want to guard Michael Jordan will go into the film room and say, well, our best defender is a small forward, but you can't guard Jordan because it has to be a shooting guard. So you really think that it has to be a shooting guard to match Michael Jordan to be able to defend him? You don't think no small forward? You never seen where Anthony Mason tried to guard Jordan because he was taking people in the post. So Pat Riley put Anthony Mason on him so he couldn't get an advantage in the post. You never seen that. You didn't see Cliff Robinson, who was a very agile, athletic 6'10" power forward that he stretched to the three. He was a good shooter, good scorer. You didn't see him playing Michael Jordan in that Blazers series when Jordan was knocking. Like, that was him. He hit the three over when he did the shrug. Clyde Drexler wasn't a great defender and a great shooting guard. Michael Jordan never played against Kobe. He never played against Ray Allen. Right? Like, so they thinking about like the 80s and it was like, oh man, Craig Elo and Jeff Hornacek. So just because he hit the shot over Craig Elo, you didn't know that Ron Harper was on the Cavs and was a great athlete that could match Michael Jordan. You didn't know that Gerald Wilkins was a great athlete, Dominique Wilkins' little brother. You know Larry Nance was an uber athlete. You ain't never seen Dominique Wilkins guarding him. Dennis Johnson. Like Gilbert Arenas really said, oh man, name all the top shooting guards. And you'll go Jordan, Kobe, somebody might say Wade, somebody might say Iverson. That's 4. And then you might get to maybe Jerry West, maybe if Clyde Drexler's lucky, he might be mentioned in that top 5, maybe. But Gilbert Arenas' argument is, well, when you look at the top 5, Jordan didn't play against none of them dudes. Because if it's Iverson, Kobe, Jordan, West, and Wade, that's his argument. So he'll say something like that, which is somewhat true. Sometimes it's close to being true, right? But it's really not, because he did play against Iverson. All right. So that's one thing that makes it not true. But he didn't play against Wade. He didn't play against West, right? And he did play against Kobe, but Kobe was very young when he played against him. But that's 2 guys in the top 5 he played against. But Gil twisted like, oh man, he didn't play against none of the great 2 guards. What does that mean? And I think Reggie Miller was a great 2 guard as well. But what does that mean that he didn't play against any great 2 guards? That mean that the 2 guards he did play with or against was just gonna let him do what he wanted to do? Just because you didn't play against another 2 guard that can score like you, which there was 2 guards that could score. Mitch Richmond was a great scorer. Glenn Rice was a great scorer. But Penny was a great scorer, even though he was a point guard. But he's trying to make the argument that if there's no other great shooting guards like you, then that made it easy. That's not what that means. Because if I'm a scorer and I want to get 35, you have to stop me defensively, right? So just saying that, oh, there was nobody else that can score like you that you was playing against, they don't mean anything. They probably was getting their points from their center. Maybe it was Shaq. Maybe it was Sean Kemp, their power forward. Maybe it was Chris Webber. It was a big man's league. So my big man can give me 25, 30 points to match Jordan, like Karl Malone. He could get you 30. Karl Malone could match your points. Elijah Wan can match your points. Shaq can match your points. It was a big man's league. So the big man can match Jordan's points. So this conversation about no other great 2 guards, all you really need is great defenders. And there was plenty of those around there. He wasn't just getting guarded by Craig Elo. But nonetheless, I like what Kyrie Irving said. Somebody's got to be honest. Somebody's got to tell the truth. Like it's got to be some truth. It's messing the conversation up. It used to be fun to debate this. Now you got to defend lies. Like somebody's got to come out, tell lies, and then it goes on for a week or 2, and people got to come out and freaking tell the truth about it to try to reset everything. We done with the 90s, man. My nephew, man, I love my nephew, but he's young, right? So when we done with the 90s stuff came out, still to this day, he still believes it. Like it works on young minds. It works. He really think Jordan didn't have a left hand. He really think that Jordan didn't play against any good competition. Right. All of these things, all the things that they were saying we're done with the 90s, my nephew believes it. And I had to go back and forth with him about this. And I get to the point was like, man, we about to sit down and watch film. All right. Or I take him to the court and say 1-on-1 or 1-on bum. That's what we call it in my family. I'm the one, he's the bum. Right. So that's what we call it. Right. I'm gonna beat you and it ain't gonna be nothing but what I seen in the 90s. 1 dribble pull-ups, 2 dribble pull-ups. I'm going to take you in the post. I'm going to play physical defense. It ain't going to be nothing but 90s. Right? And that's how I handle it. All right, man. Look, we go watch film or I'm taking you to the court. Which one you want? They both killer. They both killer. And it ain't going to be easy. And I ain't lost yet. All right, my son either. My son ain't got me yet either. They did beat me in track though. They got me when we ran the 100 meters. But hey, look, man, about time. It's about time they got me. But I like what Kyrie said. And the 1 MVP, people just go ignore that. You don't know why he only got 1 MVP. Like seriously, you think he got 1 MVP because he wasn't that good? Or he wasn't the best, or he didn't have any MVP caliber seasons? He did. We know why he didn't get MVP. It was politics. So why would you just straight up lie and say, oh, but he only got 1 MVP? But you know why he only got 1. he don't have one because of the same reason why Westbrook got one. Like Westbrook got one. He only had one phenomenal season that was worthy of the MVP. And I don't think it was worthy of the MVP. Not with his team being in the 6th seed. Right? I mean, he just had a quote unquote historic year because he was the second person to average a triple-double. It wasn't even historic. It was historic when the first person did it. Like it was historic when Ken Griffey and his dad played in the game together, first father-son duo to do that. That's historic. It wasn't historic when LeBron and Bronny did it. Right? We got to stop calling stuff historic that's already been done. It's not historic if you're doing it again just because it hasn't been done in 20 years, 30 years. Right? That's so Westbrook getting gifted the MVP because he made history, quote unquote, was crazy. You made him an exception to the rule of whatever your stats is empty if your team if it's not leading to team success. And being in the 6th seed is not team success. Getting home court advantage, I would say, is team success. So anything above 4th seed or above is team success to me. So I think all the MVP candidates, right? You shouldn't have any MVP candidates that is below a 4th seed, right? So all MVP candidates should be 4th seeded up, right? They're trying to prioritize how many games you play and saying the threshold is 65 games. You got to play 65 games to be eligible. Well, how about your team has to be winning to be eligible? Now, if all the teams that are at the top seeds don't really have a real candidate, let's say that they all playing like team ball and like the whole starting lineup, everybody averaging 10 points, and then you got 4 players off the bench averaging 10 points. We ain't never seen nothing like that. Man, dog, you got 9 players off one team all averaging 10 to 11 points a game. There's no MVP candidate there. Right? Nobody's doing MVP work phenomenally as far as what they're producing. So that's the type of team that don't have a candidate. So we can overlook that. You got the 1 seed because you just got a team that's just well balanced. Y'all play defense. Not quite an MVP candidate. You might can go down. Let's say, this would never happen, but let's just say all the top seeded teams are structured that way as far as their players. There's no 20-point scores on the squad and all that stuff. And then you go down into the 5th seed, and it's a dude that's averaging a triple-double like Westbrook did. In that scenario, I would say, well, he's the best candidate despite him not having a top-seeded team. So that's when you make an exception to the rule that your team need to be winning, not because he, quote-unquote, made history when he didn't. Right? That's my thing. Somebody said I just watched a full Laker game. LeBron is a role player. Boy, y'all mean, boy. Randy Watson Mel, if you say your team should be winning, why Kobe fans say Kobe should have won MVP in 06, 07? Because they don't have they don't have a criteria in their head of what the MVP is. I do. I've never said that Kobe should have got the MVP in 06, 07 because his team was in the 6th seed then as well. Westbrook team was in the 6th seed, shouldn't got the MVP. One of Jokic MVPs, his team was in the 6th seed, he shouldn't have got the MVP. But you know what they did for Jokic? They made him the exception to the rule because Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray was hurt that season. So that was like, oh, it's okay that he's in the 6th seed because he lost two key players. He lost his number 2 and his number 3. Or maybe his number 2 and his number 4, depending on if you think Aaron Gordon is the number 3 or Michael Porter Jr. is the number 3. So Randy Watson, to answer your question, I don't know why Kobe fans think that. I just think it's because they've heard it a couple of times and it just they just caught on to it. But when you have a real criteria that you stick by, you can't honestly say that he deserved it. As a matter of fact, I actually did an episode where we talked about the MVP, and I went back. I did like maybe 3 or 4 different years where I had my criteria transparent, and I plugged in all the candidates for that year. And I want to say the year 06, 07, I think by my criteria, the top candidate for MVP that year should have been Chauncey Billups. That was the year that Detroit had the best record in the East. They might have had the best record in the league, but I know for sure they had the best record in the East. Chauncey Billups was averaging like maybe 16 points, maybe 9 assists, and he made second team all defense as well. And we know, his name, Mr. Big Shot, got really big. He hit a lot of game winners. He was really running the offense for Detroit. The head of the snake up top at the point of attack for defense. I mean, you could use him on guards like Kobe. Yeah, he could guard up 6'5" guys, 6'6" guys, and then he can guard point guards. He was phenomenal. And I remember his name was in the MVP discussion for a very small period of time. And for like a week on those debate shows, they pushed the narrative that Chauncey Billups cannot get the MVP because he has a stacked team. They said Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, and Rip Hamilton was a stacked squad. So he became not a candidate. And then it was Steve Nash won it again. And I'm thinking in my head, like, wait, so if Rasheed, Ben, Tayshaun, and Rip is a stacked squad, which means Billups can't win MVP, being the leading scorer, a second team all defensive guy, hitting game winners for his team, running the offense, being vocal. Like, this dude was everything. If he can't be a candidate because his team is stacked with those names, then what is Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, Leandro Barbosa, Boris Diaw, Quentin Richardson, and Sean Marion for Steve Nash? How did Steve Nash get 2 in a row and escape the false narrative that he was on a stacked squad when Amari Stoudemire got MVP votes and Sean Marion got MVP votes? If you look at the full list of MVPs, Steve Nash won it, and you get down to like number 8 is like Sean Marion, and number 9 is like Amari Stoudemire. Like, people actually voted for Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire was the leading scorer for Phoenix. But here's the narrative. This is why that people don't have no criteria. It can change every year because it's just how you tell the story and what narrative are you driving. So the narrative for Chauncey Billups was that his team was stacked, so he's ineligible. He can't be an MVP candidate. And the narrative for Steve Nash is the only reason why Amari and Sean Marion are scoring all of those points is because Steve Nash is spoon-feeding them those points. Like, they were saying that they wouldn't have those points if it wasn't for Nash. Like, Nash is spoon-feeding them, which is what we've heard for LeBron narrative, which is what we've heard for Luka Doncic narratives. They're spoon-feeding their players. The media played a mean trick with that. Right. So I hate that. I hate that. But we're a little bit outside subject, man. That was basically the whole conversation from Wade and Kyrie Irving, man. I thought that was really good for them to come out there and say that. Now, what happens after that is I'm listening to let's see if I can pull this up. All right, so Shaquille O'Neal, and I've already done an episode, and this is how I know that these dudes are doing this for clicks. I just did an episode earlier this week, or maybe late last week. Shaquille O'Neal went on a podcast. There was 2 females. I think it's called Off the Record. You can find them on YouTube, but I think they're on Twitch as well. That's where they get most of their traffic at. But he personally knows one of the hosts. So he came and did their podcast for him, and he gave them some good sound bites. One of them, he threatened to smack RG3 over Angel Reese, and the other sound bite was him backing up Gilbert Arenas and T-Mac. But one thing I remember about Shaquille O'Neal is he, man, he's a big, he's a big capper, and he, I hate when he does this because you never know if it's real or not. I remember when him and Kobe was going through that beef, and then he ended up getting traded, and then while he was at Miami and Kobe was in LA, they kept putting them on the Christmas games, you know, for the drama. Or they might put them on opening night, but they had their Christmas games, and the talk of the whole week, man, what is Kobe and Shaq going to shake hands at half court before the tip off? What is going to be this? I mean, it was a huge deal, and you know, people was watching like, man, how's this going to work out on the court? And you know, they would do you know, stuff, and you know, they made it look like they really didn't like each other and all that crazy stuff, and that went on for a couple of years, kind of the same way that happened with Westbrook and KD when he went to Golden State. And when they had that interview where they sat face to face and did that interview some years back, and Shaquille O'Neal, hindsight being 2020 now, he's going to come back and say, you know what? Most of the times that y'all thought we hated each other, we really didn't. I would just be doing stuff to keep things going for the drama and the cameras. He said that. I don't know if I believe that. I really don't know if I believe that, but he always try to make it seem like he's doing stuff for the camera. But the only reason why I mentioned that is because that lets me know that he's Hollywood. He'll play that game. He's not that real. He'll play that game and think that he's playing the game, right? So with this T-Mac give it a ring, this Kobe thing, he's milking it. He's already spoke about it off the record. Then he take his big black bald headed ass back to his podcast and invite the Morris twins on there to ask them about T-Mac again so they can start another conversation. Listen to how this conversation went.
T-Mac made a statement the other day, and I'm going to answer after you guys answer. He said, if you switch him and Kobe out, as far as playing with me, the outcome is the same. You agree or disagree?
No, you're not just saying you switching out with Kobe and you're gonna be what Kobe was. That's not. Yeah, I don't agree with nothing
that
away
neither.
from nothing away from T-Mac.
Great player.
Oh, you not Kobe. Yeah,
Ooh.
and that mentality too.
I might have to disagree.
I don't know though. You know what my difference mine is though, big fella, is the mentality. Like it was like that killer mentality. Everybody didn't have that. Like he was a great player. Don't get me wrong, but it was times that Mike and Kobe, I felt like that Mike gave Kobe something that nobody else would be able to even imitate and be able to like have that mentality. A lot of players no other players had it really.
I agree with you saying, but I'm saying I didn't look at it like that. That's why I like everybody's opinion. You don't think I could have won 3 with T-Mac? I think I could have.
Yeah, for sure.
T-Mac was a bad boy.
But then,
was bad.
I don't
What
wanna
about
think
the
about-
two
it's not- it's
after
taking
you
away
left?
from that though.
T-Mac was a bad boy.
I feel like
time
you put any of the
You
you
could
could say
say
that
that
about
about
outside of
Right.
T-Mac. You could say a lot of them. Put them next to you at that time.
Good point.
Right.
All right, what about Vince? Me and Vince.
I feel like
3 in a row.
I feel like
I like
people
Vince.
downplay Vince. They just think he a dunker. Vince was one of the most
No, he
talented
was,
players that
yeah.
ever played.
I believe the same thing.
Actually, when he said that, a lot of people hit me, but T-Mac was a bad boy.
Yeah, for sure.
He was.
And I feel like even not saying it is just like Kobe just watching, playing in the league and was a fan of like everybody watched T-Mac. Everybody knew how good T-Mac was. But if you asking a question about him or Kobe Bryant, I don't know what team they was on. If he obviously everybody's path different, but like what Kobe has, there was only one other player that's the greatest player in the world has. Like they the only two that has that.
And what is that he's talking about? He said, first of all, when they first asked him, man, yeah, T-Mac, but if you swap me out, swap T-Mac out with Kobe, do we get 3? Both of them said, hell no. He was like, you're not just swapping no Kobe out for T-Mac and thinking that you're going to get the same thing, because what Kobe has, and now that we know the name of it, what he coined it is the Mamba mentality. What Kobe has, don't nobody else have except Jordan. It's something else that he has that nobody else has. Listen to Bob Myers talk about what Kobe has.
And that's why, like, when people use the Mamba mentality,
You guys don't do that. You're not hit. Like, don't say that. Like, don't even say that. Like, nobody should be allowed to say that. I'm sorry. Like, I knew that guy.
He was different,
Not as well as you. There's nobody. There is nobody. There's no. I'm the Mamba mentality. No, you're not. This guy was like,
we were out,
one of one.
Listen, we were on the track before the sun came up running, and then in the weight room lifting weights so hard that I felt like I couldn't even shoot. Coach like, what's time to go shoot? I was like, motherfucker, I can't even lift my arms right now. But it's like you said, it's an everyday thing for him. It was sick.
Like when people say that, it bothers, and I'm like I don't pretend like I do that, but I'm like, you don't get to say that.
Right.
Like, don't you throw? That's not a throwaway line. Right. Like this guy was like, that's done with him. I'm sorry, but that went with him.
Yes.
He said that's gone with him. That Mamba mentality, that's gone with him. Dominique Wilkins said Kobe was cut from our cloth. He's the last of our kind. They're talking about Kobe like they're some type of tribe, some type of lost tribe, which they are. The mentality of the 90s and the 80s and the 70s, it was getting passed down. Like what they was doing in the 70s and the 80s, what they bought over from the ABA in the 80s and went from Dr. J to Bird, Magic, to Mike, to Kobe. Dominique Wilkins and a lot of other players are saying it stopped with Kobe. It's not there no more. And the league is not there no more either. So the league can't even produce another player like Kobe or Mike. Like, and it's not just the league. I think society as a whole, especially in America, the times that we're in and the, how easy things are and, just how we are in society. I don't think society can produce another Kobe-like player. And then when you get in the league, even if society can somehow produce it, even if we can throw a kid in the hood and kind of simulate some type of, you're not going to be able to get it, because once you get in the league ain't even like that no more. So a Kobe-like player that they're talking about, or Mike-like player, we might never see again ever again. That ship has sailed. Kobe was the last. And that's what Bob Myers is talking about. That's what all the smoke, Matt Barnes and Stack 5 is talking about. That's what the Morris twins was talking about. You just can't swap T-Mac for Kobe and think you go get the same thing. Right? What about all those times that you was lazy, Shaq, and you weren't working out? Did Kobe all of a sudden say, well, shoot, the big fella ain't doing it, I ain't doing it? No, he clashed with you. Do you think T-Mac has that type of personality where he's going to butt heads with Shaq for 4 years? They're butting heads and fighting for position and fighting for the franchise of the LA Lakers. Does T-Mac have that type of personality that Kobe has where they're going to do that? Does T-Mac have that type of personality to where he's getting benched for Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel and Dale Harris is doing it and he's still outworking everybody? Is that T-Mac? Right? And I like how they just think, oh man, if I played with Shaq, just because Shaq was a dominant force and you're a good player as well, you just think it's just automatically going to work because you think the only thing that matters in that swap out is tip off and what you can do on the court. But you don't think what happens off the court matters. You don't think putting a type of player like Kobe Bryant in LA, the type of dude that John Sally said we had to beg him to come to a party. And when he was at the party, it was girls everywhere just fawning over him. He didn't take not a sip of a drink, stayed for about 30 minutes and then said, all right, Sally, I'm going. I need to get up early in the morning to get in the gym. And you leave a party in LA where girls are begging you to stay. You leave that party, catch a cab home so you can get up and work out. No, as a matter of fact, it wasn't LA. It was Miami. That was on the road. And John Sally was like, you have to come to this party. He goes out there. It's Miami. You're partying. This is the place where Pat Riley has a curfew for his guys because Miami can get how it can get at night. And this dude leaving the party in a cab because he got to get up and get his shots up. Didn't take no drinks. That's that guy. They got a game against the Philadelphia 76ers. Allen Iverson flies in. He takes Allen Iverson to dinner. After the dinner, he gets up and Iverson was like, "Where you going?" He said, "I'm going to the gym." Iverson was like, "I'm going to the club." That's Kobe. And he's in LA. You telling me T-Mac is going to be that guy? Or anybody else is going to be that guy? I think it's evident that there's not another guy like that. I think the way their careers played out shows that they're not like that. I think it shows. Right? And the Morris twins are right. T-Mac ain't like that. T-Mac, you not like that. That's what he's saying. T-Mac, you was the bomb. You was dope. There's a lot of dope players. But there's only one Kobe and only one Mike. They cut from the same cloth, right? There's only one of those dudes. What else we got here? Jared West talked about him as well. As a matter of fact, no, let's finish him with the Morris twins say.
T-Mac made a statement.
No, we good. Let's hear what Jared West said.
Could you give us any insight on that workout and what you saw in Kobe?
What wowed you there?
Well, I think the one thing, and again, you remember, he did not play basketball here in the States until he got to high school.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Italy with his father, professional player. And when he went over there, he was, he all of a sudden he becomes a linguist. Oh, you think he spoke at least 3 languages.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different lifestyle over there, completely different. And when he came back here, all of a sudden, he had been playing against all these kids over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was unbelievably skilled. His work ethic, second to none. He wasn't afraid of anything. And it was genuine. It's not verbiage.
Right.
To watch him work out, it was like ridiculous. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was like a man. He was like a man playing against kindergarten people. That's how advanced he was.
Mm-hmm.
And he was versatile. He was versatile, but he was a furious, ferocious defender. That's all he did. He wanted to compete.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just a natural player who, when he was born, there was a heck of a lot of gold dust sprinkled on his a lot
of gold dust.
And he did not disappoint. He played every night. You didn't have to ask him to play hard.
Mm-hmm. That's just what he brought.
So yeah, that's the logo talking about him. Talking about, hey, look, man, and you can find so many different times where Jerry West talked about this story about how he stumbled across Kobe and how they got him in LA, and it's a lot. And if you want to get something that's not coming from Jerry West's mouth, because he won't admit this how it went down. But watch the 30 for 30 story, the ESPN 30 for 30 story called Soul Man, SOLE, like the sole of your foot, and it's about how what's the Italian guy, Sonny is it Vaccaro, the Italian name, but Sonny. Who was the guy who got Michael Jordan linked up with Nike, and he made Nike a lot of money, and he was the guy who started the Nike camps. I think which one is Nike doing the ABCD camps, or was that Adidas? Well, he started the Nike camps. He started putting Nike on college coaches. You know what I mean? Having them wearing their stuff, and like he did a lot of stuff for Nike and made them a lot of money. But he tells the story first on how he got Jordan to Nike, and then how Nike fired him years later, right? Because I guess Phil Knight and Nike was just so big they didn't need Sonny no more, so they fired him. And as soon as he got fired, Adidas was like, man, we're trying to catch up with Nike. So Adidas hired him and said, can you do the same thing for Nike? I mean, can you do the same thing you did for Nike for us here at Adidas? And he said, yes, I'll find you the next Michael Jordan. And that's how Adidas got that deal with Kobe, right? Sonny hooked that up. He was like, I found the guy. I found the guy, right? Right. So he was like, this guy is the next Jordan. This is the guy that you're going to get to sell your shoe. So this 17-year-old kid who wasn't old enough to sign a contract with the Lakers or Adidas is already got a contract with Adidas. Already, Jerry West is ready to trade Vlade Divac to get him before the draft and all of that good stuff, right? So, watch that 30 for 30 Soul Man. It tells you a lot of how they did that, a lot of how they did behind the scenes, where they was putting out fake stories that Kobe didn't want to go play for New Jersey because they had the picks before the Lakers and they end up taking Kerry Kittles and all this stuff. Man, Jerry West said Kobe should have been the number 1 pick in that draft. He fell to 13. Right. People didn't do their homework like they should have, right? So Soul Man is a good watch. But nonetheless, you got Jerry West talking about how this 17-year-old kid was making the people that they worked out against, and Michael Cooper was one of those people. He said he made them look like kindergartners. Like he was just that advanced. And I like that word advanced because while LeBron was a uber athletic guy, a strong guy, a guy that can jump out the gym. He was very fast. His passing is always been A+. I think you could grade his passing at A+ when he was a rookie in Cleveland, right? And it's not a lot of stuff a rookie could be an A+ at when they get to the professional level. Like you got to learn stuff again at the professional. I think he was an A+ passer. I don't think he was A+ at anything else except running fast and jumping high. But his passing was unreal, right? So most of his attributes as a rookie and his first couple of years in the league was physical. Other than his passing, it was physical. He was a physical specimen, right? With Kobe, it was his advanced skill set. He was also a very good athlete, but I would put LeBron in the 1% of athletes. I will put Jordan in the 1%. I will put Wilt in the 1%. Kobe, Kareem, maybe Grant Hill, guys like that. I will put them in 5% range, which is still good. You better than 95% of the league. But Kobe is in that. Kobe and Mike is, not Kobe, but LeBron and Mike is in that 1%. Sean Kemp, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, maybe T-Mac, right? That was a different. Kobe's just below them, right? But still good athlete. But his skill work is where he separated himself. He was very skilled from the beginning, very skilled, very versatile scorer, very capable scorer. The dude just had it all, dog. The dude had it all. So that's what Jerry West is trying to explain, that like, how good this dude was. And I'm gonna let you hear how, this is how trolls talk. This is Gilly, the kid on Shannon Sharp's podcast. This is how trolls talk that don't know what they're talking about. We just heard basketball players. We just heard the logo, Jerry West. We just heard the Morris twins talk about Kobe. We just heard Bob Myers talk about Kobe. These are all the bad. We just heard Kobe and D Wade talk about Kobe. This is how trolls talk. Notice he's not gonna say anything about like basketball on the floor, what he's good at, what he's not good at. He's not gonna talk about that. It's all storylines that it like if you're trying to sell a magazine or a tabloid or a newspaper. And this is what people come to the conversation with that are LeBron fans. They come to the conversation with these narratives and storylines. Listen to how he did this. And somebody in the comments go think this is fire.
You had LeBron ranked over the Philly kid, rest his soul, Kobe.
Yes.
You still feel LeBron is a better player than Kobe?
Yes. Kobe Bryant backed up Eddie Jones at one time. LeBron James wouldn't have backed Eddie Jones up in the 11th grade. And Eddie is my man.
Yes.
But LeBron James is different. Think about that.
Yeah.
I feel like if LeBron James is the best player we ever seen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If we never seen Michael Jordan play.
So you got Jordan ranked over LeBron. That's the only player that you got over LeBron.
Yes.
So listen to the contradictory on this. Everybody admits that Kobe is the closest thing we ever seen to Jordan. And mostly everybody admits that that Jordan is the best we've ever seen. Make it make sense, dog. The best we've ever seen is here. The closest thing to the best we've ever seen is Kobe. How can you be the closest thing to the best and then we go squeeze somebody in between you and the best? I'm the closest. Okay, if the best is 10 and I'm the closest thing to 10, that means I'm 9. How are we saying 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 is better than it? Like, how? Make it make sense, man. Is if the best thing is gold and the closest thing to it is silver, then how are we saying bronze and rock and alloy? How are we saying that's better than silver? Make that make sense, y'all. If the best we've ever seen is a complete player, and I'm the closest thing to it, and I'm also complete, how are we taking an incomplete player with numerous flaws in his game and saying it's better than the complete player? Somebody make it make sense. So he admits Jordan's the GOAT. We know Kobe is pretty much Jordan. How is LeBron better? And then you're telling a story talking about why do you think Kobe is not better than LeBron? Because he backed up Eddie Jones. LeBron would have never backed up. First and foremost, LeBron didn't come in a year or era. Like Kobe came first and made it cool for high schoolers to get on the floor early. If LeBron would have came first in the year that Kobe came in, we don't know who would have believed in him enough to put him in the game. Definitely not no damn Dare Harris. That wasn't gonna happen just because he can run high and jump fast, or run fast and jump high, right? So it don't work like that. But we just say stuff that sound cool. It's a story, and then you disregard the reason why he was on. He wasn't on the bench. You just heard how Jerry West talked about how advanced he was as a 17-year-old, how he was better than everybody. You're acting like Dare Harris didn't play him because he wasn't ready. Dare Harris didn't play him because he just didn't want to. He didn't believe in high schoolers. He had a veteran team that was a playoff team. Right? So talk about the realness. Don't just say stuff because it sounds cool, because you're gonna get people that ain't got no damn sense repeating that stuff, and they can't hit a free throw or layup. Like talking to LeBron fans, it's a very tough conversation to talk to a non-ball player who's also not that smart. Repeat things they heard Gilly the Kid say or Nick Wright. Lord have mercy. These non-ballers, like bro, if it's one thing to talk to a dumb basketball player, but to talk to a dumb non-baller, boy, that junk is like herding cats. It's like herding cats, man. Right. So, I mean, yeah, on one side, you got basketball savants like Jerry West, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Kyrie. You got Wade. You got these type of dudes on one side saying intelligent things about basketball, breaking it down and keeping it basketball. And then on this side, you got nerds that never played the sport, but they can calculate VORT and box plus minus and player efficiency rate and win shares on defense and offense and all this crazy stuff. They can calculate that. They don't know basketball, but they can do math. Right? You got them, you got football players, and you got straight up fucking idiots, and then people that work for Clutch Sports on that side. And you tell me which one you want to start regurgitating from. Am I go follow a dumb jock, a nerd that don't play basketball, a football player, and Clutch Sports, or the basketball savants over here, Hakeem Olajuwon, who said LeBron is not even a fair comparison to compare him to Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan is a far superior player and he played in a tougher league. This is the guy who worked LeBron out for the summer trying to help him on the post. And he couldn't tell the difference between LeBron and iRobot by how robotic his footwork it was and how he couldn't move his shoulders. Is this Dwight or is this iRobot? I'm training a freaking Tesla. I'm training a meathead. Why is your feet so robotic? Are you a professional? Are you a center? You play on a perimeter? They let you handle the ball like this? Why is your elbows out like that on your jump shot? Why is your shimmy so stiff? Is it on Viagra? Oh man, let's open the phone lines up, yeah. Oh man, last thing, man. Let's hear what Jordan said about Kobe Bryant, y'all.
Mike, does it feel like we give the crown to Kobe? I mean, we've been the star in the NBA for so long. Now Kobe Bryant has just been playing phenomenal.
He has
Do you
been
see yourself in him?
I see similarities, obviously, because he grew up watching himself and other players, and but I think he needs and will start to come into his own, which is Kobe Bryant himself, and you're always going to see similarities because that's the way he plays, and you have something to compare him to. So I mean, he has stepped to the forefront, and I think he's done a great job in helping lead this team. Obviously, he has Shaq right next to him, but he's a very versatile, very good leader for this team, and he's doing a great role this season, and hopefully he just continues to build on it.
He said he's giving him his props, man. And I like when he said he's the leader of the Lakers. He said, and Shaq's right there with him by his side. I thought it was phenomenal, man. I thought it was cool. Caller from Washington, what's good?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts?
Man, with this Kobe talk going on. See, I'm personally like Kobe's my favorite hooper of all time. So I'm somewhat a little biased, but I feel like everybody, like when you go to the Bleacher, man, can I talk the Bleacher Report list and everything? Everybody's biased or whatever. But when you go back in Kobe, when you talk about like the numbers and then why they didn't put them in, if it's all about the numbers and the stats, then what's the point of watching the games if you can just go to the stat sheet and just look at a player's number and say, oh, well, this player is better than this player and that. So that just doesn't make sense on that. And people right now, like really guys my age, they don't really go back and like watch the history of the game. Everybody thinks everything's the same. So like during the era when Kobe was playing, like you mentioned, Kobe was mainly a jump shooter, and shooting guards shot around like that percentage. Like you were saying, Ray Allen shot around 45%, Kobe, Paul Pierce, all the great shooting guards all shot around the same percentage. And that was the dead ball era. They were shooting the long twos. It was more to the three-point line than considering the 90s was, but it was mainly like long twos and great defense compared to like right now. So there's just so much stuff you can go on just when you just compare like the other players that made the top 10 and Kobe, which if you want to break down their game offensively and defensively, which doesn't make any sense why Kobe Bryant wouldn't be in the top 10. And I also believe it's erroneous just to leave Hakeem out of the top 10. I thought it was ridiculous to have Hakeem out of there. So there's just so much stuff going on that you were saying, a lot of other like NBA greats are saying about Kobe, but it's an agenda we all know, and it's just ridiculous at this point. We're not saying Kobe's the GOAT or anything. We're just saying give the man his proper respect.
And stop using his name for these clicks, man. Like, dude, it would have been cool if Kobe was still here. Man,
exactly.
y'all like bro, it's so tacky. I mean, it's just a bad look to say, man, we just go keep putting this man in the air and try to do it in a negative way because we know people are going to start running to the videos and commenting, and it's going to get a lot of engagement like that. I think that's weak, man. Like it's almost like people wake up and be like, hey man, hey, we got to talk about Kobe. We got to say something about Kobe, man, because everybody getting clicks on that stuff, man. So they just come up and like it happened like a domino effect. You know, Wade said something. Well, LeBron said something first. Gilbert Arenas, Wade, Jeff Teague, you know, Shaq. It was just trickle effect, man. I couldn't believe it, dog. I couldn't believe it. It was like the Twilight Zone, man.
It's just insane. I mean, I want to know, is it low hanging fruit just for like the Kobe Bryant? I just don't understand like the disrespect to Kobe. Like, and they don't keep the same energy to other players. They're saying Kobe had Shaq, well, Magic had Kareem, Steph had KD. It doesn't. LeBron had how many great All-Star Hall of Fame players?
Too many to count.
I just don't understand.
Too many to count.
When you want to compare to the game, Kobe Bryant offensively, there's about Kobe, Mike, Bird, KD. Were like just from the offensive standpoint, they're just complete games. But then if you add in the defensive side, there's the MJs of the world, Kobe's, Hakeem's. Just from a pure perspective of a complete player, there's not so many players that you can name outside in the whole top 10 that you would leave out Kobe.
That's a fact.
So I just don't get it. And then you add in the resume: 5 rings, 2 scoring titles. So how many All-NBA teams? How many? I believe he had 12 defensive teams, 9 first team. So how do you just leave a player like that out?
Yeah, don't understand it, man.
What's up, this?
We know it's clutch. Man. They busy at work, and I was watching Uncommon Sense this morning, and he had me laughing because he said, and I didn't even catch on to this, man. I remember, was it last year? Rich Paul went on either Gil's Arena or All the Smoke. He was on one of those podcasts, and he was talking about the GOAT debate. And after he threw so much shade at the 90s era and tried to throw a little shade at Jordan, this man said, why can't they just all be GOATs, man? Let's just appreciate all of them. They all are GOATs. He said the only difference is, you know, I might think LeBron's antlers are platinum and Michael Jordan's antlers might be gold, right?
I mean, goats don't have antlers.
Goats don't have antlers, man. So he called LeBron a deer. So Uncommon Sense, instead of calling him Goat James, he called him Dear James, man. Oh my God, bro, that's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a younger dude, and it's kind of frustrating because I argue with a lot of people around my age. I'm 25, and a lot of people, they just don't like go back and watch the history. They get most of their information from like ESPN, but I'm someone that I like to go back and watch like old film. Like they say Magic Johnson's great, Mike's great. I really want to see like what made him great. And so you can go on YouTube and watch the old games and film, man. When you just go back and watch like Mike's games, he has no weaknesses to his game at all. Yeah. From offensive, defensive, like I was saying, but then you have to add in all the intangibles, his clutch gene, his mental toughness.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to argue against somebody like Mike, and plus his athleticism.
Yep. Total package.
So you're gonna be pretty hard pressed, and the closest thing is probably Kobe. You just have to take away his athleticism. He has athleticism, but it's just not Mike's.
Yeah, it's not Mike's. But,
yeah.
But all right, man.
I want to say, my bad, man. I want to say one more thing. How do I? Because I'm going to try to become a member. So when I click onto the member channel, it just says like videos for members only. It doesn't really like give me like another option.
Oh, so is a couple of ways, and I can't see it since it's my channel. I had to look at it from a different channel, but I think 2 things happen. One, when you hit the subscribe button, it also gives you an opportunity to click join and join as a member. So that's one way. And the other way is somewhere on the home page. When you're on the home page for the channel, somewhere it's supposed to say join, and that's for the membership. So if you already,
Okay, got you.
if you already subscribed, you should see join somewhere on the homepage.
Got you. I might just try to unsubscribe real fast and subscribe back, see if it pops up or something.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All
right. Someone said we got less than 100 likes. We got 200 people in here, man. Let's try to get to 150 likes, y'all. I think we at like 89 right now. So everybody hit the like button right now, so we can keep the show going. I read some of these super chats. Woofy $5 super chat said they all biting their tongues. And just say LeClutch is behind it all. We know. Then $5 super chat from Woofy again said, look how quick they turn on Kobe. If LeBron were to pass, he drop out of the top 50 in a week. Sheesh. And Demetrius Day, thanks for being a member, man. He said all facts, man, no doubt. Caller from Texas. Hold on. Caller from Texas, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Well, what's popping? What's good? What's your thoughts?
I want you. Wait, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. You good?
Yeah, man. I'm been chilling like a motherfucker, staying out the way.
Yeah, that's all we can do. What's your thoughts?
Hey, bro, why y'all blame? Why y'all trying to put this on LeBron, bro?
Because that's where I think that's where it belongs. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it belonged there.
So you think LeBron is intentionally having Bleacher Report vote Kobe as the number 11 player?
I wouldn't say it specifically like that, but there is an agenda to push certain guys down and push certain guys up. So yeah, I do think that Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, by way of LeBron, is part of that agenda.
Intentionally does that to Kobe.
Yes.
Just Kobe, right?
Anybody he feel like needs to be pushed down.
Oh, so you saying that Clutch Sports does this to everybody?
I say anybody. I didn't say everybody. Anybody that they feel needs to be pushed down. Anybody that they think that's in the way, they would do that too. I mean, their goal is for LeBron to eventually be considered the greatest of all time. That's their goal. That's their last goal. They already got Kareem's record. They're already done winning all their rings. They're not getting another ring. They've already got buku money. They got Bronny in the league. Like he played with his son. Like all these goals that we've heard him talk about over the years. They set a plan to reach all of those goals. The last one is left is for him to be the GOAT. Are we in agreement that he want to be the GOAT?
But yeah, I mean, of course, I think anybody want to be the best. But Pete game, like explain this to me, bro. Right? Like, is there a list that exists in the world today that has Kobe over LeBron?
Yes, my list.
No. But I ain't talking about personal list. I'm saying
no, it's not a personal list. This is a man down sports list.
No. Okay, a man down sports list. That we're not talking about that, bro. I'm talking about a credible publication that people goes to. Like I'm saying, bro, if you drop a list,
you don't think I'm credible?
Bro, I'm saying if you drop a list tomorrow, bro, like what I'm saying is that it's not gonna have the same. You get what I'm saying, bro.
You don't think I'm credible? You think the dudes that made the list for Bleacher Report is more credible than Man Down Sports?
How can I say that, bro? When I don't even know them.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're asking me these lists. I don't have no. Do you got respect for Bleacher Report?
Bro, I'm asking you a question, bro.
I'm answering it. Like, the list is on the screen.
But I'm trying to get somewhere. Like I'm trying to understand your
okay, well tell me what. So tell me what answer you want me to say so you can get to where you're trying to go.
I don't want you to say nothing, but I'm not you.
All right, so you want me to answer it?
I don't ask questions with no. I'm trying to really understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So
So the list is on the screen. The Man Down Sports Pyramid. That's a list that got Kobe ahead of LeBron.
okay, bro, do me a favor, bro. I'm saying give me a list that LeBron could have seen, right? Right? That would have Kobe over him.
The list when TNT said that Kobe was the player of the decade.
Bro, I'm talking about the GOAT conversation, bro. When you're talking about a decade, nigga, that LeBron only played 6 seasons out of the decade.
Well, shoot, I don't know what to say, but I don't know what to say. Just get to your point.
Is it an ESPN list? I'm saying, where is LeBron hearing that Kobe is like in his way? Is what I'm saying.
All over the place. He entered the league. The list that he made. When they asked LeBron who's the best player in the league, and he said Kobe Bryant, that's
in 08.
Yeah, the best player in the league. And then when they went to the Olympics, best player in the league. Then when D Wade said that he had to call LeBron after Kobe got his 5th ring and LeBron had 0, and he said, "Man, we got to do something. We got to join together." Like this, these are clear. These are clear moves. These are clear moves that LeBron was trying to catch up to Kobe. The fact that he looked at him as better than him, the fact that he wanted to catch up with him in rings, the fact that he's always heard people say Kobe was better than him. Coach K said he was the best. Michael Jordan said he was passing the league down to Kobe Bryant. Like the list goes on
When did Michael Jordan say that, bro?
Right here.
Mike, does it feel like you give the
What did he say? He passed the league down to the
Right here. It's playing now.
for so long. Now Kobe Bryant is just in
He's saying it now.
Yes,
See yourself in him.
I see similarities, obviously, because he grew up watching himself and other players, and but I think he needs and will start to come into his own, which is Kobe Bryant himself, and you're always going to see similarities because that's the way he plays, and you have something to compare him to. So I mean, he has stepped to the forefront, and I think he's done a great job in helping lead this team. Obviously, he has Shaq right next to him, but he's a very versatile, very good leader for this team, and he's doing a great role this season, and hopefully he just continues to build on it.
Yeah, it's documented everywhere. It's documented everywhere, big dog.
What's documented everywhere?
How good Kobe was when everybody considered him the best.
Saying Kobe, who's it? The best what?
The best player in the league.
Women.
Pretty much his whole time with the Lakers.
Man, bro, stop it. Hey, bro, best players. What I'm saying is, best players, bro. They don't average 15 points in no finals. Best players, bro. Cause y'all keep saying, because like I said, bro, Kobe on my top 10 too. So this is not to disparage like Kobe, but like you could have just left it at praising Kobe. Like you bringing in LeBron, like talking about. You making jokes about LeBron, all that, bro. Just keep it to Kobe, bro. Like,
let me ask you this. How does it feel? How does it feel?
How does get mad if I cut you off, but you cut me off? Like I don't get that. Go ahead, bro.
How does it feel when I say something like I'm in a critique fashion about LeBron James? Like what makes you want to call in to defend him?
But what makes you want to take hot shots on him when he ain't got nothing to do with Kobe?
Well, because I produced the show. I produced the show, and I planned on saying certain things. So, and I said it. I'm trying to figure out why would I say it? I'm trying to figure out why would I say it triggered you to want to call in to defend this guy? Because I ain't heard you call in to defend nobody else. Nobody else I talked about except LeBron. So I'm trying to figure out.
You don't trigger me.
I ain't say I triggered you. What I said triggered you. You're triggered. You called.
No, not really.
No, you're triggered. You called.
So if somebody calls you, they're triggered.
When you call to try to confront and protect and defend something I said about a player, like what you trying to protect this grown man?
I can't verbally protect nobody from nothing, bro. I'm just jostling going back and forth. Bro, you make, hey, this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, you like to get that off right there. I'm gonna let you get it off. You like to do that, say that, that man's fan, and like all that. Bro, at the end of the day,
I ain't say man fan. I ain't say man fan not one time.
I didn't say you said it today. Like keep up. I'm trying to be intelligent for you today. I'm trying not to speak unintelligent.
I appreciate that.
So what I'm saying is that is that you like to get that off, like just because a person calls you, it has a rebuttal to what you're saying that like they're super defending.
Yeah, but what's the rebuttal?
I still can't finish. Bro. Go ahead, bro.
Get to your rebuttal so we can get there. Because you asked me a bunch of questions. You ain't rebutting nothing. You just asking questions. And then when I answer the question, you're like, "Nah, don't answer it that way." So just go ahead with your rebuttal. Go ahead with your rebuttal.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that, bro, when we talking about, when you saying that because you saying basically that Kobe's in LeBron way, so he's having to do whatever he's doing, jostling him out the way. I'm saying, but wouldn't you think that I'm saying that the real person that's in LeBron way, I'm talking about the real person, the person that's on the list, because you say he wants to be the GOAT, right? So if he wants to be the GOAT, because he wants to be the GOAT to these people that's making these lists. It ain't to every time you can have a nigga that's in their garage, nigga just spewing opinions. I don't think that matters to him. So what I'm saying is that wouldn't you target the one person that they saying that you're not better than?
Which is Kobe. There's a lot of people that say he's not better than Kobe.
No. I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about the masses, bro. I'm saying when he look at these lists, bro, every list have him behind one person. Now we're talking about LeBron. I'm talking about from the LeBron point of view. So if every list have you behind this one person, wouldn't you think that would be the person that you target?
Yeah, he targets him too.
How? How do we target Jordan? I ain't never heard that one before.
Oh, you haven't?
And bro, you just said earlier that you said it started with LeBron. LeBron said something. What LeBron said about Kobe?
Man, you not following along too good, man.
Okay, well, let me know. What did he say about Kobe?
You got to rewind the show, big dog. You gotta follow along, man. I gotta backtrack. That's too much, man. I gotta lay all this groundwork, produce a show. I gotta take phone calls, and now I gotta backtrack.
I just thought it was a simple statement that LeBron said or something.
I can't. I explained it when I brought it up.
Okay, but bro, I'm saying wouldn't you think that that's the person that he would target? Like why would I be
he target him too?
Because in LeBron head,
he target him too.
I'm saying in LeBron head, we know that he thinks he's fast Kobe.
I don't think he think that. He like last time somebody asked him about it, he said Kobe was better than him.
Big bro. What I'm saying, LeBron, right? LeBron, what I'm saying is that, bro, if there's nothing showing me or nobody, what I'm saying is that, bro, that boat in his mind, nigga, has sailed because nothing. I'm saying
the film don't show that. If you know that, I'm gonna tell you how I know what's going on, right? If you know that the narratives that exist out there that convince people that you're better than Kobe was created falsely and they're not even real, and you know when you turn the film on, or when you're playing against Kobe, or when you're at the Olympics with Kobe, time and time again, he showed that he's the best player on the court. All-Star game, Olympics, regular game. It don't matter. The film is there. When you know that he's the better player, you don't really think that you're better than Kobe. You just know it's just superficial stuff that you created as narratives. He don't think he's better than Kobe. He knows he's not better than Kobe. Not at basketball. He not a better player than him, but as far as like being able to make some stuff up and trick some people, yeah, he got that down pat.
So you think that LeBron tricked his way into being ahead of Kobe on every list?
On some people's list, I wouldn't say every list. He ain't on my list. Not ahead of Kobe.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I'm talking about publications, bro. I'm talking about
Yeah,
people
this
who does
this
shit.
is a publication. This is a publication.
I mean, that's what if that's what you want to call it, bro. I'm talking about people who's paid to make lists, bro.
Yeah, I am.
USA Today.
I'm paid. What about people that's qualified to make lists? Like people that actually use common sense and logic and know what they're talking about and is unbiased and who is got basketball in mind, the greater good of basketball in mind when they do these lists. Because we know the Bleacher Report didn't have that. Bleacher Report didn't have that for sure. Right. So
bro, I think they were the top 10 player, bro. But at the end of the day, the last list that Bleacher Report they had come with 14. Like so like what am I gonna do with that, bro? Like
I don't know what you go. I don't know what you gonna do with it. I'm gonna make content off of it. I don't know what you gonna do with it, but I'm gonna make content off of it.
I mean, bro, get your content going on. I mean, I promote it. All I'm saying is that that's another thing, bro. Like that y'all don't understand, and it's really sad because, bro, all that being hypercritical of LeBron, that's what started all this. Like I don't give a damn what nobody say, bro. That's what started all this, bro. Because me, I never watched basketball with the eye like just to have something to say afterwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, everything LeBron say, everything he do is something scrutinized by that. So, bro, what do you think that people? It's people coming up thinking that you're supposed to look at basketball like that. Like real talk, like no matter how good, no matter how good a player plays, if he messed up in a game 3 times, the 3 times he messed up is what we're going to dwell on. Not the rest of the game, but a nigga playing flawless. Like I just don't get that. So when y'all do that, so I mean, I'm just being honest with you, bro, because I ain't never had to look at Kobe like that, or I ain't never had to critique. Like, but in these like debates or conversations or whatever, nigga, that's what it was, bro. Y'all, it's like I don't know, bro. But I'm just giving you I'm just being 100 and being real with you. Like it's just like earlier, bro. You can't just give Kobe praise, bro. Like you gotta and LeBron, and then like try to like, and I just don't get that point. Like, nigga, I ain't supposed to produce. I ain't about to produce no shows. Nigga, like going hard or down talking Kobe. Like Kobe was a bad boy. Nigga, I say that through to the death of me. He was a bad boy. But at the end of the day, nigga, me tearing him down, nigga, that ain't gonna do nothing. And what I'm saying is that I'm saying every content creator, bro, right? Bro, some of that stuff, bro, y'all don't be critiquing the game, bro. And y'all be critiquing what this man saying. And going hard, going ham on this man. Like so what I'm saying is that, bro, like y'all can do that, but just know, bro, what'll make you laugh, bro, it'll make you cry, nigga. And if y'all want to be hypercritical of LeBron, it's gonna be people that's super hypercritical of Kobe, bro. And that's just how it's gonna go. Because I guarantee you wouldn't produce no show if LeBron was at the top 10.
You don't think so?
Nah, come on, bro. Yeah, you would have produced a show, bro, but you would have produced a show condoning it. Like that's the difference. And you want me to sit up here and think that you're unbiased. Like, bro, we can stop all that, bro. When you say man fan, bro, I swear to God, bro, I be hoping that you're looking in the mirror when you saying that, bro. Because, nigga, all these Kobe fans, y'all bumping on, nigga. Like, that's the crazy part about it. Y'all bumping on, nigga, up to the point where y'all blaming LeBron. Y'all blaming a nigga that didn't have, nigga. Y'all act like LeBron said I made this list himself. But I have never seen nothing but you just said LeBron said that Kobe was the best player in the league. Like, so what I'm saying is that why do that, bro? Like, I'm saying, like, if you got some deal with, like, and that's at a time LeBron could have said he was the best, because he won MVPs. Even if he was wrong, he could have said it. But this man was still saying Kobe was the best player, bro. But now you want me to sit here, nigga, with Kobe dead, right? And you want me to believe that LeBron is kicking dirt on. Like, come on, bro. y'all good with that, y'all cool with that, but me, like, I wouldn't be like cool and like good with that, like to think that LeBron is that maniacal, bro. Like but that's you, bro. You think what you want to think. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you feel good at night, you like it, I love it. But all that, like LeBron is doing this, like trying to turn the ire of people against LeBron, saying he doesn't speak intelligently and listen to Kobe and like all that. Like, bro, all I'm gonna say is that, hey, bro, you don't gotta know how to read, bro, if you know how to count. Just remember I told you that, bro.
Facts.
Real talk.
Facts.
All right, bro.
All right,
but
big
that's the best. That's the best, bro.
All right, big guy. Thanks.
Hey, come on. All right, bro.
Okay. Let's take one more phone call. No, hell no. No more phone calls. Next topic. Guess what the next topic is? LeBron James. Oh man. How did we get a LeBron James topic on here? Did we just finish talking about LeBron James? He might have shot all his bullets out, because I know he want to call in on this one, man. So look, I don't think this is like no real thing. Colin Cowherd, let me get this phone number off the screen. Colin Cowherd is like a big supporter of LeBron James, but this is the thing about Colin Cowherd. He says what gets clicks. Like he go say what need to be said, and he flip flops, and he swings like a pendulum, and one day he's hypercritical of MJ and saying he's the worst GM ever, and he's super supportive of LeBron, but it's just all based on what's going to get the clicks for that week, right? And the funny thing about it is he called LeBron James an opportunist in this clip. He said it was an opportunity, and he's jumping from team to team when it's most convenient for him, which is exactly what he's doing. But for him to admit that now is just perfect timing for him, because this is what's hot right now, right? If LeBron James did something, if he hit 50,000 points in game 50 of the season, Colin Cowherd will say that he's the GOAT, and that's why he's better than MJ. So he's trust me, after this, he's going to be back on LeBron's jock pretty soon. But this is what is profitable for him today. So he's an opportunist as well, but he's calling LeBron an opportunist, which was funny. But listen what this man said.
J-Mac, interesting story. The Athletic kind of broke an interesting story, John Hollinger, where there were whispers in league circles that LeBron James, and we talked about it on this show, was looking at Dallas as a landing spot. We've talked about this. Great front line. Here comes Cooper Flagg, better coach. And, let's be honest, if he went to Dallas, he would be the centerpiece. Even though he's older, LeBron in Dallas, every time he goes to a new team for 2 years, it's like, wow. Whereas in LA, it's like Luka's team and everybody knows it, new owners. It kind of feels like, nothing against LeBron, but he's not the future. But this is interesting. This is really interesting. But LeBron wasn't willing, and this is what killed it, according to John Hollinger. He wasn't willing to leave $52 million on the table for a mid-level exemption. So now think about that. LeBron's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. And my take is with LeBron, Rich Paul told us it was all about winning. It's not anymore. I think Michael Jordan's still in his head. He knows in the basketball community with basketball fans, he's never going to catch MJ. MJ is 6 for 6. MJ is more memorable. MJ's got the logo, the brand, and sells more shoes. He's more romanticized. Michael Jordan, there are a dozen plays to this day that you close your eyes and think about, and you can see Michael Jordan. Do it, unless you're driving. With LeBron, there's one. That chase down block against the Warriors. That's it. And so I think LeBron at this point, he's never going to catch him. He's never going to catch him in net worth. MJ's net worth is $3.5 billion. LeBron, even with the massive money he's paid, is $1 billion. That's why he wants to own a basketball team. I think he's chasing Michael. And here's the difference. Michael Jordan makes you feel something, and LeBron doesn't. MJ, and I mean, high-level salespeople will tell you, you want to trigger emotion in advertisers and consumers. You want to make people feel something about a product. Michael has that. You wear his shoes, you feel cool. You like being on that side of the argument. So Michael's richer, more memorable, bigger brand, and he makes you feel something. And LeBron doesn't. LeBron has kind of bounced around to the best basketball opportunity every chance he gets. He's been the great basketball opportunist. And I've never criticized him for that. I understand it. His first stop, he got drafted to Cleveland. 7 years in, they couldn't get him another all-star. I was on the bandwagon, get to Miami. But my take is you probably should have stayed in Miami. In fact, I'd argue the only time LeBron has ever made us feel something was when he went back to his hometown, when he went back to Akron and he won in Cleveland. Michael Jordan still sells more shoes than LeBron. Just to give you the influence of Michael Jordan, he got Derek Jeter in his prime to wear his logo. Football jerseys all over this country. The Jordan logo. And I look at this, LeBron not taking, for one time in his career, giving up money, mid-level exception, to play with Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, better coach. No, I'm not going to do it. In 2016, LeBron said it, quote, "My motivation is the ghost I'm chasing." He played in Chicago. Even with this, I think Michael's still in his head.
Pause, because basically what Kyrie is saying is that MJ got big D energy and LeBron don't. He's saying MJ make you feel it. LeBron is like throwing a hot dog down the hallway, but MJ hitting the walls. That's basically what he said. That's a man fan. Right? I never describe nothing like that. Like, oh man, he makes you feel it. He makes you feel it. Is it basketball or not basketball, Colin? Right. So, but like I said, he's a flip flopper. You know, he's swinging this way this week. Next week, it'll be the other way. He'll be calling LeBron the GOAT again. You know, so it is what it is. You know, they got to kind of swing it both ways. The way the wind is blowing that week, and just stay with the algorithm, right? So the fact that Kyrie said that is going to be very shocking, because what he did right after this is the next day he invited Nick Wright on his show just so they can have a back and forth debate, because of course Nick Wright is going to defend him. So he invited Nick Wright on so he can repeat that to Nick, and then they can have a little back and forth, right? It's a whole game, a content creation game, man. It's a whole game. Most of this stuff, like I was watching Gil's Arena one time, and they were all going at it and fighting back and forth and debating. And I think Kenya Martin was like, man, McCants, man, you just want to debate, man. That's all you do, man. You just want to fight, dog. Don't nobody want to debate you, dog. You know, don't nobody want to be controversial. And Rashad McCants said, this is what I'm supposed to do. This in my contract. And I'm thinking he's saying it jokingly until Josiah, who was the you know, he's the moderator for the show. He confirmed, he was like, yeah, that is in his contract. Debate and be controversial. And then I already did a video that's on my channel when Kendrick Perkins was describing it on JJ Reddit's podcast, when he was like, yeah, it was his first year being at ESPN. And he was like, man, sometimes the producers get in our ear and tell us things to say or give us suggestions. But there's other times where when we're doing our production meeting before the show, and they tell, you know, like they give us the topics the night before, you know, so we had time to kind of get ready for it. And they pretty much, it's a bunch of topics they got on there, and they're trying to figure out like what's your opinion on this topic. And if you got two guys that got different opinions, oh, that's a debate. It's a debate show. If you got all 5 topics and all the hosts agree on all 5 topics, then it's not a debate show. The show is called a debate show. By the title and by the concept, you have to debate every single show. You have to debate. It's a debate show. You get what I'm saying? So you have to debate. So if we agree on this topic, one of us got to go the other way, just purposely, right? It ain't that much disagreement in the world for you to get on, not 365 because they off on the weekends, but for you to get on for an entire season of basketball and an entire season of football, and the dude you sitting across, y'all disagree on every topic. Just imagine that. Imagine you work with someone and just so happen every single topic we do, we disagree on. And we're debating it, right? That's what Skip and Shannon was. They got on there and disagreed every show. Right? And when Kendrick Perkins said this is before OKC was what they are now. And what was it? Was it OKC or was it another team? I can't remember what team it was. It wasn't OKC, it was another team. And it was the Grizzlies. Was it the Grizzlies? I think it was the Grizzlies. And the producers asked Kendrick Perkins, hey, do you mind getting on TV tomorrow and saying that this is the next great dynasty? And Kendrick Perkins was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. And he did it, and them boys got put out in like the first or second round in the playoffs later on. He said that was the worst take he ever had. As a matter of fact, it was the playoffs. I think they was up like 1-0 and they had won convincingly. And it was Phoenix. That's who it was. It was Phoenix. They had game one convincingly. And the producer was like, man, tomorrow, can you get on the show and say Phoenix is the next great dynasty and back it up with some facts? And he did it. So the producers will put a battery in your back, and then that little earpiece that you see hanging, that little white earpiece that you see hanging, they're talking on the show, and the producers is constantly in their ear, constantly in their ear. Right? You might throw a stat out that is false. The producers check it. Oh, no, you was wrong on that stat, man. They in your ear. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. Like, this junk is phony. Right? So, I say all that to say this, right? Cowherd is just this week. It's just his turn to do what he need to do and go the other way. But he'll be back. Trust me. It might be even next week he'll be back. I give him to the season start. When the season start and LeBron have a good game, he'll be back because that'll be popular for him, and he know that he'll get clicks that way. But he know this right now. He's going to get clicks because everyone's going to be shocked. Like, man, Cowherd said that about LeBron. This is the season to do that, right? So it's just he's calling the irony of it. He's calling LeBron an opportunist, but he's an opportunist because every opportunity he get to say some goofy stuff to get clicks, he's doing it. They're paid actors, man. Very well paid at that. These boys are very well paid. But finally, last topic, right? Last topic, y'all. And this is we're going back to Big Shaq podcast, the big podcast. Got the Morris twins on it. And we already, on the first segment, we talked about them comparing T-Mac to Kobe and pretty much told T-Mac, man, you're not on Kobe level. That's what he said. If you just joined and then you didn't hear that part, you can rewind it back and hear that part. But then they got talking about the GOAT debate. And I really like how they handled it because Shaq is another guy who just throws stuff out there for the content. Like I really don't like professional shit starters. Like if you go start shit, like he's a professional shit starter. He just like Why throw something out there that you don't even believe in yourself? Just listen to how Shaq did it. He's talking about the GOAT debate, and he did this earlier this year or last year when he threw Steph in there. I think it's time to put Steph in the GOAT debate. The GOAT debate, Steph, Drake. Well, how the heck? How? And then to say that I think Steph should be in the GOAT debate. Shaq, who was your top three? Oh, is Mike, Kobe, LeBron. So you don't have Steph in your. No, I ain't got him in there. Then why the hell are you suggesting that he be in the debate? I just think he should be in the debate. Listen to this, dog.
Playmaker. If he gets in, take me out.
Go in there and just rip my jersey down. So we always hear about the GOAT debates. We all play, and I know we're friends with some of these people. My take on it is, doesn't matter who you pick. I want to hear the right names. So somehow it's just LeBron and Jordan. But my argument is, shouldn't Kobe be in that conversation?
Without a question. Without a question.
Like,
without a question.
Doesn't matter, like me. I pick Mike. Right. Play with Kobe, play with LeBron, both extraordinarily great, but Mike was that guy. Mm-hmm. To me, Mike is the greatest of all time. But I just hear people go straight from Mike to LeBron and no Kobe.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I think Magic should be in there somewhere too. Like, I think Magic, if what happened didn't happen, I think he had a chance to be one of the greatest.
And what about Steph Curry?
Over Magic or just one of the greatest?
In the conversation.
One of the greatest? Oh,
listen,
yeah, for sure.
There's 8 billion people in the world. Everybody's going to have their opinion, but I would like to hear the proper criteria.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoever you pick. So do you think Steph Curry should be there? I do.
I think he's one of the greatest that played the game. He changed the game. He was a part of changing the game.
Kareem's in the conversation.
Without a question.
Kareem.
Is Wilt in the conversation?
Yeah,
I believe.
I don't think so.
Oh, interesting. Why?
We only had 2.
2 rings.
So rings are very important in this conversation.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why
I don't
not?
think so. I mean, because it's like,
come on,
like
now.
a lot of players. No, not saying that he shouldn't, but just winning anyway is hard to do. So for somebody to win 2, you can't. I don't think it's just like, yeah, he ain't win enough. Like, you won 2, that's enough. Some people can't win at all. You got a lot of greats that haven't won, and their career is downplayed because they didn't win. But they were great basketball players. You know what I'm saying? So the criteria,
but we're talking the greatest of all time.
Yeah. So is that like a top 5 list, or is that just like the greatest?
Mine is Mike, LeBron, and Kobe.
Right.
Oh, so Steph's not in your conversation.
No, he's.
So
not
we're talking about the 3 greatest of all time. Let's just put the number on it.
No, he's not in anybody's conversation. I'm saying, but should he be at it?
Right, but hold on. You always ask that question, but now you're saying he's not in your.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying should he be at it? I've already made mine. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Yeah. Period.
Gotcha.
That's my statement.
Does Bill Russell get in this conversation?
He should. He
Okay.
should be.
That's hard. When you have that conversation, it's like
because also you think about Wilt, and you think about like Jerry West. They were on the non-Celtics teams where those guys didn't switch teams ever.
Yeah, right.
They had like 10 guys that are in the Hall of Fame, and it's like one dude versus all of them.
Right.
And then we're judging them on not beating them.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But then we're also giving Bill Russell credit for 11. Like there's a lot of arguments that argue against themselves. But Will also was averaging 50 points per game for a season.
That's a lot.
And those are our 3. I think Mike, Kobe, Bryant. You figure it out. Mike is the greatest of all time. Kobe cannot be the closest to Mike and not be top 3 greatest of all time. That doesn't even sound right.
So they said a lot of good things. Mike is hands down the GOAT. Kobe is the closest thing to Mike. There's no way you could be the closest thing to the GOAT and not be in the top 3 or the top 5. Like it does not make sense. It does not make sense, right? And that is that. So when you had these conversations, and that's why we having like I don't know if y'all caught our show this weekend, but we are trying to take all the criteria that we've heard people use and implement them into one big debate, and we're doing it in phases, right? So a lot of people go by the eye test. We use the eye test to create 20 to 21 players that we just using the eye test that we think are the best we've ever seen. Once we got that 21, then we said, all right, we're going to go to phase 2, which is us debating and going through all that awards and accolades. And by the awards and accolades, we're going to create a point system to grade those awards and accolades by importance. And then once we grade it, we're going to see who has the highest points. And once we graded accolades, Bill Russell and Michael Jordan was tied for number 1. Kareem was number 3. Right? Kobe was 6. LeBron was 5. Right? That's how the list stacked out. Right? I think Tim Duncan was 4. Yeah, I think that's how it was. It was Russell, Michael, Kareem, Duncan, LeBron, Kobe, Bird. Hold on. As a matter of fact, I got it right here. It was actually it was Russell, MJ, Kareem, Duncan, LeBron, Kobe, Magic, Bird, Shaq, Wilt. That's how I graded out, right? So but then we're not done, right? So you get that list. Now, a lot of people like to use narratives and storylines, like we just heard Gilly the Kid say, oh man, he had the weight of the world on his shoulder coming out of high school and he lived up to it, and all this superficial stuff, these storylines, we'll do it. We'll waste the time. We're racking, stacking 1 through 10 by the narratives and storylines, just narratives and storylines, the positive and the negative. See where they fall. That's a second list, and then we're going to go straight stats, or not stats, but straight observing the player strengths and weaknesses. Who's the best player? Rack and stack them. So we're going to end up with 3 lists of 10 players, 1 through 10, racking and stacking them. And from those 3 lists, we're going to average them out on how they fall on all those lists to create our man down sports greatest of all time, top 10. Right. So having some type of criteria is important, and being transparent with what your criteria is also important. The big problem with these conversations and debates is that everyone is using something different. Some people don't respect the eye test because the eye test is not fair to the guy that they want to favor. Some people don't like to use stats because the stats don't play in the favor of the guy that they want to favor. Right. So, some people are heavy on storylines. It's just, I guess it's just a thing. Right. So, but look, the greatest way to actually judge these players is observation and film work. Like, if I want to know how good a basketball player is, you got to watch the film, and you have to know what you're looking for. You have to know what you're seeing, right? The only reason why people really like to rely on stats is because they don't know what they're watching when they watch it. You get what I'm saying? So they have to go to stats because stats are more comfortable to them. Like, I can form a conclusion from these stats. Okay, he averaged 30 points a game and the other guy averaged 29. Well, the one that averaged 30 is the better scorer. They did that without watching any film. Yeah, 30 is better than 29, so that's the better scorer. Or, oh man, he's number 1 in scoring all time, so that's the best scorer. Well, tell me how he's the best scorer. Like, how did he get his points? Explain that to me. Is he getting it in an advanced way, or is he getting it in an elementary way? Does he need a screen? Can he do it in every way possible at an above average level? Where's his weaknesses? Can he shoot free throws? So all of that is a big deal, and that's what basketball players see Kobe as. They see Kobe as the most complete player and one of the most skilled, if not the most skilled player that they've ever played against. And then he's an elite competitor on the defensive end and a great defender. So he's A+ on both ends of the floor. And like full capacity, like everything is accounted for on the offensive end. Like, he can do it all. no weaknesses. Same thing with Michael Jordan. So they see two players with no weaknesses. If I'm observing the player and grading them out by ability, like if you write down every ability that you could have on the basketball court as a player, the ability to catch and shoot, the ability to post up on the low post, mid post, high post, the ability to run the fast break with the ball, the ability to run the lanes on the fast break without the ball, the ability to ISO, the ability to utilize the screen and roll, the ability to shoot the mid range, the runner, the free throw, the three. Like if you just grading everything and then grading every area where you can do all of those things at, like you have to take it down that far, not surface level. You got to go down. Okay, can he score from the baseline on the left side, on the right side? Can he go over the right shoulder fadeaway, over the left shoulder fadeaway? Do he got a hook? Do he got a runner? Can he use his left hand? Can he use his right hand? Can he dribble, two dribble pull up going right, two dribble pull up going left? Can he catch and shoot? Can he space the floor like a 3-point shooter? Can he stand in the corner? Can he point guard? Can he handle the rock? Can he bring the ball up against pressure? Can he post up? Can he score against guys quicker than him? Can he score against guys taller than him? Can he hit his free throws in the clutch? Does he fold under pressure? Like all of these things you're grading. If you write all of those things down on a piece of paper and take Michael Jordan and Kobe, you're checking pretty much all of them. But if you take another player that a lot of people like to use, like LeBron, he's not checking all of them. That's what the Morris twins are talking about. That's what Kyrie Irving was talking about. That's what Wade is talking about. That's what Matt Barnes is talking about. That's what people that talk about Kobe being one of the greatest is talking about. They're talking about when you grade him, he grades higher on both ends of the floor than who your favorite player is. He grades higher than them. If I'm grading him, he's got it all. He don't have it all. So then you got a discrepancy where if he's got it all on offense, how come he's got more points than him all the time? And then that's when you actually got to do more research. Where why does the better scorer not have the most points than this guy? And you got to do your research and figure out why. It's a reason for it. Right? There's a reason for it. And it's not because he's a better scorer. He has a lot of flaws. A lot of flaws. More flaws than anybody else in the top 10. Especially wing players. A lot. Right? Then Shaq is trying to slide Steph Curry in there for what? I don't know why. The GOAT conversation, he ain't even in the top 10. You talking about the GOAT. This is the thing. When you got a complete player like Michael Jordan, that's the least thing you have to do to get in the debate with Michael Jordan. You have to be a complete player, either equal to him or better than him. Let's say you're a complete player and you're like, man, I've never seen, like a lot of people think Kobe is more skilled than Jordan. So they think Kobe is a complete player and might be more complete than Mike. That's what a lot of people think. Well, if that was the case, let's say he is a little bit better than Mike, or let's say he's equal to Mike. Or if he's already the GOAT, in order for you to surpass him and take that title on, you can't just equal him as a player. Now you got to go out and achieve things at a greater level than he did. So it's twofold. Make yourself a complete player like him, equal or better, and then go out and go get what he got, 6 rings or more. And then you might have to do some other things as well, because he didn't just go get 6 rings. He went and got 5 MVPs and 6 finals MVPs and never had a game 7 and 9-10 defensive teams and steals champion, defensive player of the year, averaging 36 one year, 37 in 1 year. You know, you got to go do those things to, you know, overkill. So dethroning someone is, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like when you got to go fight the champ and you taking this belt, you just can't go in there and get a draw and think that you go get the split decision. So to beat the champ, you got to knock the champ out or beat him convincingly. You can't tie with the champ. Win convincingly. So when you're trying to dethrone the GOAT, first and foremost, are you a better player than him? And that's when the conversation starts. If we see a player that is complete on both ends of the floor as Michael Jordan, as good as him, then the conversation's supposed to start. Oh, we on GOAT watch. Let's see what he can do. Now we got to wait till the end of his career to see. Can he do it? We want to see it. We would love to see a player that's on Kobe or Mike's level or better. That complete, that aesthetically pleasing to the eye, the way they play. Like the game was, that you can tell they put a lot of work in because their game was smooth and pretty. It wasn't rough. It wasn't raw. It wasn't rough around the edges. It wasn't robotic. It was smooth, good footwork. It's a lot to like about the way they look on the court, right? So this is what you got to do if you want to dethrone Mike. Be a better player than him, and that's what Kobe tried to do. Kobe, in an interview, said that when he watched Mike's film, what he's thinking about is, I want to be that smooth. I want to be that technically sound. I want to be just as good as Mike, or if not better. So that's one mindset and one mentality. I've heard that come out of Kobe's mouth. I want to be as technically sound as Mike. Because he's seen the best, and what he's seen was the details. And he said, I want to master those details of Mike's game. LeBron did it different. He looked at Mike and didn't look at the details. He looked at the big picture and said, I want to try to get records to surpass Mike. That's a different mindset. One of them is the three little pigs that built his house out of brick, and the other one is the three little pigs that built his house out of straw. That house is not going to stand under any type of scrutiny, and that's why LeBron is having trouble getting people to be convinced that he's the GOAT, because he built his foundation on straw. He built it on, if I go get Kareem's record, if I play 23 years, get Kareem's record, and be top 5 in all these stats, if I go get the stats, then I could be in a conversation with Mike or be the GOAT. Kobe said, I want to get two things. I want my game to be as good as Mike's, and I want to get more rings than Mike. So he was going for rings and the complete game. LeBron was going for stats. And that's the difference. I'm going to open the phone lines up one last time, y'all. Let's get 2 calls in here, maybe. What's y'all thoughts on LeBron building his house on a foundation of straw, which is the stats, and Kobe building it on a foundation of brick, which is rings and a complete basketball game? Caller from Florida, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts?
With the GOAT criteria?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. You know, MJ's at the point now, he's kind of like Michael Jackson. You know, like in music, no one will ever surpass Michael Jackson. So I feel like that's the same thing with basketball, with Jordan. But, you know, I'm a Kobe guy, so I'm from LA, so I'm going to be biased and say Kobe's my GOAT. But if I had to be fair, I would say Jordan's 1, Kobe's right at 2. With this whole list with the twins, they're saying that if you don't got Kobe in your top 3, that's trash. I agree with that. You know, with the Bleacher Report, they putting Kobe at 11. This shit's, I don't understand that.
Silly.
How can you say Steph is better than Kobe? In what way? Besides shooting, right? Like, besides shooting, that's it. There's nothing else in his game that you can watch and say Steph is better than Kobe. So I don't understand with fans. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. That you can't. Is that not good enough? That's not a good enough title. You know what I mean? That's not a good enough title.
I don't even think he's that. He might be the most, out of all the great shooters, he might be the most famous, and he might have shot the most threes, so he made the most threes. But it's no doubt in my mind, if Ray Allen shot as many of his threes as Steph, he would have, he would have as many of his threes as he wanted, right? Same thing with Del Ellis, and even Steph's own dad. If Steph's dad had the green light like that, you know, he might be a better shooter. Mark Price is up there with Steph. Like, you know, I don't know who the greatest shooter is. It could be Steph, it could be Mark Price, it could be Del Ellis, it could be Del Curry, it could be Tracy Murray. It's a long list of great shooters, man. A long list. Ray Allen is up there as well, and so is Craig Hodges. So I won't even give him that title, but that's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic. But with the Bleacher Report, those guys, I don't know if you ever seen what they look like, right? The people that started that shit.
Yeah, I
They
did.
kind of look like,
I seen some pictures of them. They look like Bill Gates.
they look like they work at the Geek Squad at Best Buy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what they look like. So now this is what it is. Since people, these naysayers and these haters want to throw narratives out there and hopefully it'll stick, we need to start throwing narratives out there where if you've never played basketball in your life, if you've never ran a suicide, right? If you never even play at the very least organized basketball, AAU basketball, if you don't know what a UCLA fast break drill is, you shouldn't be talking basketball.
No.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't be talking basketball. It's kind of like, if you a virgin, I don't want to hear you talk about sex. You don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that. It's the same comparison where it's like, you don't even know really the game of basketball as far as the IQ. Why are we even taking these people serious? So I feel like,
you're right. We shouldn't take them serious. I mean, because if they never got in the gym and practiced for 3 hours on one move, they don't know what it takes. They don't know when they looking at someone do just something simple like a drop step in the post or a reverse pivot or something like that. They don't know how fascinating it is. They don't know how much work go into someone having a decent shooting form. Like, you just don't wake up with a decent shooting form. Like, you putting in repetition. They don't respect it. Only thing they respect is the end result of the stat. And like one of the callers said before, you don't even have to watch the game to follow the game if you're just gonna follow the stats. You ain't gotta watch the game. You can just pull the stats up after the game and miss the whole game and pull the stats up and then start forming conclusions.
but those are called casuals, right? All they got to do is look up on Google or they look on a piece of paper. This guy has better stats. He's better. But they don't look at the context. They don't look at the ins and outs of the game. Okay, why does this guy have better stats? With the Kobe thing, it's kind of like, you know, I look at Kobe where it's like, when you look at all the all-time greats, let's take Kobe out of this for a second. You look at all the all-time greats, the Jordans, the Shaqs, the Birds, the Magic, all of them, LeBrons. They all have something in common. They all had the keys to the franchise from the jump. Kobe didn't have that. And it wasn't because of lack of talent or skill. It's because of the situation that he started in. So now if you give Kobe that same opportunity, look at his career, look what he did with everybody else had a head start on him. Look what he did in his career. Right. And then we got Gilbert Arenas over here talking about the media already admitted that the reason why they didn't give Kobe MVPs because they were hating him after the Colorado situation, correct?
Yeah.
So now if we have all of that, we take that into account. Why are we even having the media vote on MVPs? Because now, like Gil said, it's changing the narrative. It changes the whole algorithm and history of the NBA, the game, right?
It does.
You know, Kobe should really have. I think he got cheated at least 2 more. He should have at the very least 3. You know what I mean? So now that changes the whole conversation. Because what it is, bro, is when people they take Kobe out of the conversations because of it's really the MVPs. To be honest with you, he only got 1. That's all I always hear is he only got 1. LeBron got 4. You know, so it's really, that's what it is. But now when you look at it into it, you dive deep into it, the MVPs I never knew until I got older that the MVPs was voted by the media. When I was a kid, I thought it was, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, I thought it was just, the best player, you know what I mean?
I think at one point, the players had a vote as well. So their peers was voting as well, but I don't know what year it changed to the media.
Like it had to have been somewhere in the early 2000s, probably, you know, because if they were talking about cheating Kobe after the Colorado situation, but you know, with all the accolades, I'll say this, and I'm gonna let you go, bro. Last thing I'm gonna say is, I think I've said this before. When you got the top 10 greatest players of all time, all of them got accolades. All of them got personal achievements and awards. They all got that, right? Because we could always nitpick and say, well, he got more MVPs. Well, this guy got more defensive selections. We can always do that all day. The end all be all should be the skills, the eye test.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
That should be the eye test, you know? So that's all I got to say, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, man. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
All right, we can get one more, maybe 2 more, y'all. One more call, maybe 2 more. Hey, somebody said shout out to Roxy Reynolds in the comments, man. Y'all is wild, man. Golly. Is Roxy retired, y'all? Where that name come from?
Hello.
Caller from Kentucky. What's up?
Oh, hey Mel. Good to be on the show. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's your name?
DK.
What's good, man? What's your thoughts?
Okay, I happened to get to the show late, so I just happened to see the last bit of what you said about the GOAT conversation and the list on the Bleacher Report. Honestly, I don't agree with it. If I can at least say for me, I wouldn't have Kobe top 3, but he's definitely a top 5 player in my book. Based on what he was capable of doing and what he did, anything lower than that is ridiculous. And honestly, for me, I would see him as probably at least the top 3 shooting guard of all time. I probably have him right below Jordan and then D Wade 3.
Okay.
Oh, I just kind of find that the list is very biased. Like, I wouldn't even really have Steph in the top 10. As good as a player as Steph is, like, you had mentioned like a bunch of players that were like great shooters. I want to add in one, like, to piggyback on the last caller, which I know might sound a little bit crazy, but like someone like Pete Maravich. Like,
absolutely.
I know he didn't shoot many threes, but just from the sample size, he had a really good like accuracy. I mean, like the numbers were like one. It was a small number, but it was very high. Like I think it was like 67%.
Pistol Pete was a freaking alien.
Yeah,
he was an alien.
Yeah, and honestly, if him and Dr. J got to play together, man, they would have like just changed everything in the NBA at that time. They were way ahead of their time. But going back to what I'm talking about with Kobe, though, I mean, just like the list itself, I feel like the top 10 is just off, especially like when you have like Curry on the list and like if I remember, I think it was 9. I have to go back and look at it, but like, you're disregarding a lot of legends that had played before him.
Agreed.
Like I can't remember if Bill Russell was on the top 10, but like, players like Wilt, I think Larry Bird was on the top 10. I'm just having a hard time trying to remember, but like, you have like, players like Wilt, Bill Russell, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, George Mikan, Oscar Robertson, heck, even like Walt Frazier and Willis Reed. I mean, people might not say them, but they both ended up getting titles for the New York Knicks at a time that was a new era past the Bill Russell Celtics years. And outside of the Celtics, I think it was the only other team that won multiple titles that decade during the 70s. So there's a lot of players that you can put within like that top 10 that definitely deserve to be up there. And Kobe is definitely one of those players that should be in the top 5.
I agree,
let alone top
100%.
10. Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yep. Thanks for the call, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for accepting it, and may you and everyone else in the chat have a good night. Safe.
Same, brother. Thank you. All right, we'll take the last call. The last call. Call in. Let me address this Jay Will comment. He said Powell led both teams in win shares. this man, hey, Jay Will. Me and you go to a basketball court tomorrow. It's a hoop. Whatever city you in, I'll fly in there. We'll go to the nearest basketball court, and we're not gonna play. We're gonna sit from the time the first player gets there, the first game all the way to the last game. And out of all the players we watch play, I want you to tell me which one had the most win shares. Who judges basketball like that? Hey, tell me which player is the best. Well, let me look up his win shares. You can't be serious. You said win shares? Bro, that is insane. Caller, what's up? What's your thoughts?
Hey, how you doing? I just heard the last guy talk about his top 10, and before I even tuned in, I was just thinking about my top 10. And this how I have my top 10. Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Magic, Bird, Kobe at number 6, Isaiah Thomas, Shaq, Tim Duncan, and the last spot, I kind of left it in the air with Steph. I was surprised I even thought about putting Steph in my top 10. Julius Irving and Oscar Robertson. And I hate that I left Bill Russell off my top 10.
Hold on. I was trying to turn your volume down. I couldn't even get it down. Go ahead. You say that top 10 again.
All right. It was Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Magic, Bird, Kobe Bryant, Isaiah Thomas, Shaq, Tim Duncan, and that night spot I just left open. That night spot was hard for me, man. But I was thinking, like, I definitely put Steph over LeBron. LeBron ain't even in my top 20.
Why is LeBron not in your top 20?
Well, because of the allegations about the whole steroids and what he did. He destroyed the game. I don't even watch the NBA like that no more.
Yeah, but that don't mean you got to penalize him and take him out of the top 20. Like it's like being ranked on somebody's list is not a privilege or a punishment. So like, I what I would like to see fans do is you could dislike LeBron for whatever reason you dislike him, but still give him a fair shake. Like,
okay, this is being fair. What type of impact did he have where you was looking at his game to say that he was really a threat on the court? All he do is flop and complain to the refs. He never get back on deep. What I don't see has that top 10. That's not top 10. That's not a top 10 play at all.
I'm not saying you got to put him in the top 10. But like to say I don't have him in my top 20 because
he ain't in my top 20.
Yeah, but see that's not real, dog. You can't tell me it's 20
that
players.
is.
You think
it is 20 players better than LeBron.
Okay.
And if you looking at the way this man played the game, there's no way you could say he top 20.
I mean, I think it is.
I mean, if the brother sitting out here complaining to the refs not getting back on defense,
that don't mean that don't mean there's 20 people play better than him just because he can play.
Yes, I can pick 20 better than him.
All right, okay, give me the 20.
I done did it, and there's people that ain't even won championships.
Come on, dog. Y'all gotta chill with this, man.
Yes,
y'all letting y'all do
no.
Y'all letting y'all
Nah.
so this is the reason why y'all will never be president. Y'all taking y'all taking y'all personal bias and putting it into
it's not personal. No, it's not personal. He don't listen to the coaches. He try to do whatever the hell he want to do. It's numerous reasons why he ain't top 20. Okay, I'll say this. He's an athletic Scottie Pippen.
So
he's a little above a Scottie Pippen.
So why you stop at 20? Why don't you just take him out of the top 100?
Okay, fine. Dickie Simpkins better than him.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. I never. No, I'm just saying. I never went that farther. But I want to put him in my. The more he do all this bull crap, he don't make the top 20.
Hey, I mean, I can't penalize. Like the only reason why I can drop you on a list is for basketball reasons, not reasons that I dislike you. You get what I'm saying?
No, but the things he do is why I dislike him.
But
that's
what I'm saying.
You getting it. Majority of your points are based off of traveling and shoveling people out the way.
Okay, he's still playing basketball.
Yeah, he's still playing basketball, but nothing he's doing is
he's good. There. He's good at basketball.
I mean, he good at basketball, but not the way he's top 20.
No, he's really good. No, seriously, he's really good. He's a great player. He's really good at basketball. I mean, I'm gonna just name small forwards, right? You stop me when you stop me when I name a small forward is better than LeBron. All right,
small forward. Okay,
I'm just name small forward. You stop me when I name.
That's better. That's better than LeBron. Okay, let's go.
All right,
let's go. All right,
Detlef Shrimp, Glenn Rice.
He ain't better. None of them. Glenn Rice.
Big dog Glenn Robinson.
Hold on, you saying
I'm gonna keep naming small forwards until I name one that's better than LeBron. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's go.
Big dog Glenn Robinson. Grant Hill.
No, I'm gonna let you stop. Stop.
You think Grant Hill? So
Grant Hill's
in your top 20.
No, he ain't in my top 20, but the problem with Grant Hill was his injury.
Is he ranked higher than LeBron? On your list?
No, I won't rank him. Because of the injuries, I want to rank him higher than LeBron.
Okay, let's keep going. Steven Jackson. Let's go with Scottie Pippen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Scottie Pippen. Yeah, I'm going with Scottie Pippen over LeBron.
Scottie's better than LeBron.
He play both ends of he play on both ends of the court. I'm going with Scottie.
Okay, what you got?
Scottie go play some defense.
Where you got Scottie ranked in the top 20?
I don't know, but I don't know, somewhere in there. He probably ain't even in there. But I mostly stopped at the top 10.
Hey man, y'all got to get that head out your heart, man. He's
He's
a despicable person. He's a foul person. He's a double crossing, backstabbing. He's all of that negative stuff. But man, when you judge basketball, man, we got to be grown up about this, man, and take the personal feelings out of it, dog.
I am. Ain't no feelings in it. If the guy sitting up there giving up in the fourth quarter, I'm trying to see if this stuff is top 20. You're giving up in the fourth quarter. Your lack of leadership. You're not listening to the coaches. You flopping. You complaining to the refs. Not helping your teammates on defense. All this stuff factors in that.
Right. That's the negative stuff. What is the good stuff he's doing?
I don't know. Ain't no good stuff. If it was good stuff, it was a time where.
Come on, this man said ain't no good stuff.
It was a time where I fell for the honey. It was a time where I thought he might be better than Jordan until I looked at his game. I was like, nah, he ain't better than Jordan.
All right. Oh, well, I respect your opinion, big dog.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, I like that you got Zeke in your top 10 though.
Oh yeah, the disrespect towards Zeke, and the reason I got Zeke in my top 10 is because of what he did to the whole situation with Bird and Magic. He was the person who wasn't never supposed to win, and the way he thought as a little man, that put him in my top 10. Like I guess he's probably, I'll say maybe the second or the third greatest point guard.
I say second. I got him right behind Magic. I got Steph third.
Okay, yeah, I see that. And the disrespect to Wilt is just diabolical, man. I ain't nowhere in hell Wilt coming out my top 3.
That's fair. I mean, I can't be mad at that. He got a heck of an argument for sure.
Yeah, as far as Kobe being where my ranking at, I guess a part of it is I seen Magic a little bit growing up as a kid, so to me it's still Magic. It's still Magic's town,
Mm-hmm. Yep. But all right, man. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
All right.
Yep. All right, Jay Will. Win shares. Good luck with that, man. Like who really that play basketball is trying to sit down with someone and have a conversation about who should have got Finals MVP. And the first thing that you mentioned is win shares. Like you seriously got to be kidding me, dog. Win shares. Tell me without Google, how do you calculate win shares? Is it something that you could do while you're watching the game? Like, because while I'm watching the game, let's say we take the finals, Pacers versus the Thunder. SGA is out there balling. I can watch that game, and I can see if SGA, just by watching the game, see if he's having a good game or a bad game. But someone who goes by win shares, they got to wait till the game is over and wait for someone to post the win share calculation somewhere. And you're going to use that to figure out if he had a good game. But you can't just sit and watch the game to see if he played well or not. Did he have a good game or not? This is, in order to get basketball back the way it's supposed to be played, you know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to stop recording stats. The only stats they should record is points. That's the only way we're going to get basketball back to normal. Get all of these VORP nerds out of here, these win-share nerds, these box plus minus nerds, all these advanced analytics that we don't need. Get them all out of here. If they stop recording assists, people might stop trying to play triple-double basketball. It's the stat that's driving people nuts. If we was only recording wins, losses, and points, that'll help us get basketball back to normal. because this man just said win shares. Right? So Powell led both teams in rebounds, because I'm not even going to say win shares should be something we should be discussing. So he led the lead team in rebounds and blocks. He was the big man. He should lead in rebounds and blocks. And was 0.2 from tying Kobe in assists. They ran the triangle offense. They didn't run a point guard base, set up everyone, and the point guard get all the assists. And if they did run that, Kobe wasn't the point guard. So what's your point that Powell and Kobe had the same amount of assists? And then he said Kobe got finals MVP for averaging 10 more points than Powell. Like 10 points is not a big deal. That's the difference between averaging 19 and averaging 29. Like, you are gotta be the smartest dude in this chat. Like, you are bright. You are giftedly smart. He only averaged 10 more points than him. Only 10. 19 and 29. Only 10 points. And also was the vocal leader for the team. And also was a defensive guy. And also was the guy who took all the double teams. Also was the focal point. Like, you really trying to make an argument that Powell should have got the MVP. Also, Kobe couldn't have it, or also you can discredit the fact that he actually got it. So you can then say what? Well, let's take him further down the list. Like, this is insane. Like, people that think like that, man, y'all got a special place. And in that place, they give you straight jackets. You guys don't like analytics as Kobe fans. I'm not a Kobe fan. I like basketball. I don't like men. I don't like the men that play basketball. I like basketball, the actual sport. If you're good at it, I would say you're good at it. And I would say why you're good at it. That's as far as I go. I don't have emotional attachments to the men that play the game. I like the game. My emotional attachment is to the game. You know, I remove myself from being a man fan. I leave that all to y'all. All of y'all who's in the comment section and getting triggered because I'm saying something about your favorite player and you feeling it deep down in your panties. That tingling feeling, that's piss. Let it go. That little feeling you feel when I say something about LeBron, that little tingle, put a pamper on. You won't have to leave the live to go use it, but just let it go in the pamper. But I know y'all feel it deep down in your panties. But yeah, I don't do that. Kobe fans, cause they say he wasn't that good. Kobe never led the league in any major analytical stat. What? Don't he got scoring titles? Ain't scoring the most important stat in basketball? The team with the most points at the end of the game wins 100% of the time, not 99, not 99.5, not 95, not 75, not half the time. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins 100% of the game, or 100% of the time. So that makes scoring points the most important thing about basketball. Putting the ball in the hole, scoring the basket. And nobody did that better than Kobe and Michael Jordan and Wilt and Kareem for big men. And you can throw Hakeem in there. Hakeem, Wilt, Kareem for post players. And Duncan was a great post player too, so throw Duncan in there too. They were the best in the paint, and on the perimeter, Kobe, Mike. Nobody done it better. And that's the most important part about basketball. Guess what the second most important thing about basketball is? Preventing the other team from scoring. So scoring and stopping the other team from scoring. So scoring and defending is number 1 and 2 most important thing about basketball. And guess what teams construct their franchises around? A scorer. If you want to win a championship, the first thing you got to get is a dominant scorer. Whether it's a post player or a perimeter player. No one said, let me go and build my team around a guy who wants 10 assists a game and wants to pass up the last shot, even though he's getting paid the most money to be the team guy and be the team leader and be the savior for this ball club. Let's give $50 million to a guy who is looking for Danny Green for the game-winning shot. No, they're looking for dominant scorers like Kobe and Mike. Because you can always find a pure point guard to help run an offense that's going to be thinking about getting his team set up. In the triangle offense, you didn't need a John Stockton that had the ball 18 seconds out of the shot clock, or Luka or LeBron or James Harden or Westbrook that got the ball all damn night. The ball move in the triangle. The offense help us get team assists. We're not concerned about a one-player assist. And somebody said, what about Magic? When Magic was leading his team as a point guard, the number 1 dominant scorer on that team was Kareem. So that team, too, was built around a dominant scorer. And if Kareem wasn't there, then Magic would have played like a dominant scorer instead of an assist guy. So when you got a dominant scorer and you got a pure point guard or a person to run the offense, it's best if they're not the same guy. When you're flying a plane, you got a pilot and a co-pilot. They both serve a purpose. If the pilot gets sick, the co-pilot can take over and drive. You got a backup plan right there, a pilot and a co-pilot. What LeBron and Luka and Harden did is say, hey, how about this great idea? Let me be the pilot and the co-pilot. Let's get rid of the co-pilot. Let me do both. I'm the pilot and the co-pilot. That's what you're telling your team when you say, let me be the point guard and the primary scorer. Let me get all the assists and the points. What we've seen in history is always best to have it be one or the other. Your best player can be your dominant scorer, and your second best player can be the person running the offense, Stockton and Malone, Magic and Kareem. Why would I set up an offense where one guy's doing both of those things if he's not stat padding? Like some people think stat padding is, oh man, we winning by 20 points. I need 2 rebounds to get a triple double. I'm gonna stay in the game. That's one way to stat pad, but it is also a way to design stat padding in your offense. And when you get your best player and say, I want you to be the guy to take 25 shots a game, but I also want you to be the guy to run the offense, be the distribution for the offense, set everybody up, get all the assists, bring the ball up. Like how are you the quarterback and the receiver? Like the best scorers, the plays usually finish with them. But if you're the primary scorer and you also the point guard, then the play is not only finishing with you, it's also starting with you. So you're starting the play and you're making the decision if you want to pass it or you want to finish the play. Like you're setting your own self up and then setting everybody else up, and then everybody else is just standing around. Like you're in a parking lot with 4 phone booths in it, and you got the entire parking lot that you can roam and find out where you want to shoot from. But your teammates are inside of phone booths, restricted. and you're telling them you can only score from these phone books from these phone booths. You know how hard that is on your teammates when they have to play that way? It feels easy because all they got to do is stand there and set screens, and that one guy's doing everything, running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and everybody else is all they got to do is catch and shoot. It feels easy, but if it feels easy, it's probably not good. It ain't supposed to be easy like that. Oh man, they make the game so easy. I hate when I hear people say that. Oh man, he just makes the game so easy. Why are the games supposed to be easy for somebody that's trying to win a championship? That supposed to be hard? If it ain't rough, it ain't right. Why is the game supposed to be easy? That's a compliment. Oh, he makes it so easy. All we got to do is just stand here. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen. The ball is usual, not usually, but usual. The ball is usual in the best decision makers. So they eat the ball before the game. It's inside of them. The ball is in them. If I'm a good decision maker, that means I'm going to roast the ball and eat it with mashed potatoes and put it in me. The ball is usual in the best decision makers. LeBron is the best decision maker, but he leads the entire universe, the entire galaxy, not just Earth, all the planets, in all-time turnovers. I'm going to say that again. LeBron is so great at decision making that not only did he lead the NBA, he leads America, Earth, and the galaxy in turnovers all time. There's no alien, there's no demon, there's no kid, there's no female, there's no amateur, there's no bakery that has more turnovers than LeBron James. I say it again. There's no alien, there's no female, there's no planet, there's no basketball player, there's no quarterback, there's no bakery that has more turnovers than LeBron James. But he's the best decision maker, right? How about somebody who's been playing point guard their whole life? Like Mo Williams, like D Rose, like Mario Chalmers, like Norris Cole, like those type of guys who actually played point guard their entire life. How come the ball ain't in their hands? That's not even real. Like, I don't care if you think LeBron is the best decision maker and he wants to be the point guard, well, let it be the point guard. If you're listening to what I'm saying is it's not smart basketball to do both primarily. If you want to be the primary ball handler, the primary distribution for your offense, then do that and then let someone else be the primary scorer. Don't do both because that makes it harder for your team. That's a flawed offense. That's why he's 4-6 in the finals. If he ran a better offense, he wouldn't be 4-6. Trust me. But in order to run a better offense, he's gotta upgrade his skill set. Because that offense that he runs is perfect for his skill set of high screen and roll, run full speed at the rim, and jump really high and get a dunk or a layup. Or if I can't get downhill on that screen, I can just step back and shoot the three. That whole mid-range space and that whole post game is just not utilized. So in order for him to run a real offense, he's got to get better in the post. He's got to get better off the ball, moving off the ball, and that mid-range stop and pop, utilizing one or two dribble pull-ups. That's the skill set he's going to have to pick up. So instead of him getting better, like I said, Kobe Bryant was someone who was looking at the details on how to get better and upgrade his game. And LeBron was like, nigga, I just want the stats. How do I get these stats? Because if I get these stats, you ain't gonna be able to say nothing to me. If I get Kareem's record, it's a wrap. What you gonna tell me? Because I can spin that in the media. I can spin that narrative. I got Kareem's record. I'm the number one guy. Oh, I wasn't even trying to get that. I'm a pass first guy. Like all these narratives that sound cute that ain't true. And by the way, this is Latasha Allen, y'all. This is Young Disciple. So when y'all engaging him or her in the comment section, just know that's Young. Off the ball, LeBron kills. Mel, you just hate his style of play. You do Westbrook, Joker, Hart, and Luka the same way. But I'm explaining to you why it's flawed. I'm explaining to you, right? That style of play gets you a lot of assists and a lot of points. And people are using those assists and like, look at it. Luka is the preseason MVP favorite every year for the last 4 or 5 years because he plays that play style. Everyone knows he's going to rack up on points, rebounds, and assists. So the play style is a stat pattern play style. And it's a hub for stats and a hub for MVP votes, right? So Luka always is the preseason favorite for MVP, but he never gets it because the team never performs well enough for him to be in heavy consideration. But he's always the favorite before the season starts. Harden was in the MVP discussion in Houston like 3-4 years in a row. He won it 1 year because of that play style. Points, rebounds, and assists. Mind you, notice all these dudes that played that play style would rest on defense because they was doing so much on offense. They would rest on defense, and they were all considered bad defenders. But what it is, they have a free pass not to play defense because he's doing so much on offense. Let him rest on defense. So they always put Luka, Harden, and Westbrook on the worst offensive players so they can just relax and chill. And then guess what happens when you don't have to really guard nobody? Those long rebounds, you able to just run down and grab them. So that's why they always was up in the 8s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and sometimes 10 rebound as wing players because they wasn't defending. If I shoot a three-pointer, the guy that's guarding me and contesting my shot at the three-point line is the least likely guy to get the rebound. So you can X him out. If I'm here contesting a three-point shot, I'm not going to have time to contest, come down, turn, go get the rebound. It's going to be more feasible someone else to get it. So one guy is already out of the question. The first pass, whoever the first pass is from where the ball is at, probably got their back turned to rim and stuff like that. He still got to box out that guy so his guy don't crash from the three-point line to get the rebound. He probably not going to get it. So the closest person to the paint, which is probably a big man, and the low man on the perimeter, which is the guy who's usually guarding the guy that's standing in the corner, because almost every offense in the NBA has got 4 guys around the perimeter at least. And to get that spacing that they want, they have a guy in the corner. Sometimes they got 2 guys in the corner on each corner. But we're going to put a bad defender on that corner guy because he ain't moving. He ain't going nowhere. He got to stay there so the floor is space. So he's just there. And when the shot goes up, he's not crashing the glass because they want him to get back and stop the fast break. So when the shot goes up, that guy guarding the corner boy, all he got to do is take 2 steps. Rebound is right there. So the guys, these guys that you named, Luka, Harden, Joker, and Westbrook, notice they always almost average the triple-double playing that play style. The play style is perfect for stat padding. is perfect for triple doubles, and it's perfect for MVPs. Luka, they want him to get an MVP. Harden got 1. Joker got 3. Westbrook got 1. It's an MVP. It's an MVP stat play style. And I like winning basketball, so I don't understand why you got a problem with me not liking that. Tiffany said, Mel, do you think Kawhi is the biggest what if? He has 2 defensive player of the years, 2 finals MVPs. If he stayed healthy, he would be top 5 or top 10 all time. He might be the best what if. The biggest what if, that's tough. It's too many of them. It could be Grant Hill, it can be T-Mac, it could be D Rose, it could be Jonathan Bender. Jonathan Bender was the first Kevin Durant. Jonathan Bender was unreal. It could be Greg Oden. It can be Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy was good. Yeah, so it's so many what ifs. But the best what if I had to rank the what ifs, that's tough, man. T-Mac, Kawhi, Brandon Roy might be the top 3. And maybe D Rose might be a close number 4. And if I had to round it off with 5, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people think Grant Hill is all that, but I'm taking Jonathan Bender over Grant Hill. So my top 5 what ifs: Kawhi, Jonathan Bender, D Rose, Brandon Roy, and T-Mac. And then Penny. Sheesh. Penny Hardaway too. I forgot about Penny. Yeah, man. Yeah. Somebody just became a member. I appreciate that, brother. Jamil Morton. Jamil Morton. Thanks for becoming a member, brother. I do members only shows every now and then. I try to do it like once a month. So I got another one coming up pretty soon just for the members. So y'all should get some content soon, man. So I appreciate y'all for joining and being members. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna end this one, man. Full panel Friday this week. In a couple of days, y'all, we will be finishing our rankings and our GOAT criteria. So that should be a lot of fun, man. I appreciate y'all for staying up late with me. We'll do this again. Len Bias, yeah, Jeff. Yeah, for sure. Len Bias, Reggie Lewis as well. Man, yeah, those boys was bad. Yeah, Len Bias might be the best what if, man. Yeah, he might be he might be like that. All right, man. Appreciate everybody on the stream, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.